Welcome back to SportsCenter in 2 of the 5 boroughs. Boom, it is a statistical dream. In Manhattan here, a man who won 10 scoring titles. There in the Boogie Down, a team that's won 26 World Series.
Well, you could take the subway up here, Stu, and join us anytime. Your game should be over before ours is. It'll be 6th inning, 7th inning. We'll keep a bed made, a light on, and a seat for you right here. The Yankees got to get going. The good thing about the Wizards and the Knicks is that if they don't deliver tonight, they got about 81 games to make it up, right?
That's true. Yankees fall into an 0-3 hole. That would not be good. Boom. Here in Manhattan, the wait is over. No more anticipation. It is time. The man who we haven't seen in a game that counts since June of 1998, June 14th, when he hit that shot. The last 2 of his 45 points that night. The last 2 of his 5,987 career playoff points. Tonight, his first game back that matters. Mark Schwartz has more on Jordan in the Big Apple.
On a night when the Yankees are hosting a World Series game, the Washington Wizards are at the top of the New York sports page. Arguably one of pro sports' most anonymous teams, the Wizards are suddenly relevant, and never more so than here, on a stage Michael Jordan has always loved, in an atmosphere none of his teammates has ever experienced.
The lights are not going to get any brighter than they are right now, and our season's not going to be dictated on how we play tonight. So it'll be nice to see how our players come out in this environment and see how they can handle all the hype and all that goes with this.
It's always fun to come back here and play in front of the New York fans. I think they recognize basketball talent. You know, I'm pretty sure my skills and my talent's going to be looked at with the microscope.
I just want to get the season started. Really want to get this game behind me so I can stop answering all these questions about him.
Questions like the one Jeff Van Gundy liked so much, about whether Jordan is capable of dropping another double nickel on the Knicks, much like the 55-point explosion he generated here at the Garden 5 games into his last comeback.
I don't know. Ask him. I sure hope not. I hope we have it in us to stop him. No matter how much everybody wants us to be a coronation, I want it to be a win.
Michael is the most unique athlete I've ever been around because he's judged every night.
I know the expectations are high, which is normal. Come in New York, they want me to score 60, but they want their team to win.
If he plays well tonight, it'll be like it's the old Michael. And if he doesn't do well in Atlanta, then he is old Michael.
Mindful of keeping Jordan young, Collins knows he can't use him 40 minutes every night the way he did in Chicago 15 years ago. Ideally, he'd like to play Jordan 33 minutes and use him much as Jerry Sloan employs John Stockton in Utah, pulling him late in the first quarter and then again late in the third. Then again, if the Wizards dig themselves a hole early, Collins won't have the luxury of resting Jordan nearly as much as he'd like. In New York, I'm Mark Schwartz, ESPN.
Mark, thanks a lot. Dr. Jack Ramsey kicking it with us again. Jack, I asked Michael Friday night after his last preseason game if he was ahead of where he thought he would be, and he said yes. He said his legs are better than he thought he would be, and he also said that he's playing more patient basketball. So, does that add up to 35 points tonight?
I'd be surprised, Stuart. Remember, the Knicks were the best defensive team in basketball last year in field goal percentage allowed and points allowed. This is not going to be an up and down game, and they'll do all they can to limit Michael's game.
Now, Michael shot about 48% during the preseason for his career, just a little bit over 50%. During the preseason, 41 of 46 from the free throw line, 3rd best in the league. Are we going to see a lot of Michael at the foul line?
Not if Jeff Van Gundy can help it. That's one of his objectives in this game. Keep Michael off the line. Don't allow him to score inside. And if he's hurting him at the post, they'll double team him there before he gets the ball.
All right, Michael Jordan, 930 career regular season games. Only 81 of those, Dr. Jack, did he score under 20 points. And only once did he score in single digits. Michael Jordan, here's another stat for you, Boom. He hit 202 for his minor league career. That's 100 statistical points better than the Yankees are hitting right now in the World Series.
I was just going to say the Yankees are barely off the interstate, as we say, in the postseason. Thanks. We'll go back to you guys at the Garden in a little while, but there is the matter of game.
They have made their mark as the NBA's new breed. Sometimes brash, always talented. And some have had the magic touch when it comes to championships. Speaking of which, Michael's back, speaking volumes with a wink, a grin, A lean. At the age of 38, number 23 went for 41 in a preseason game. Tonight in the NBA, they play for keeps. Welcome to opening night. Opening night of the NBA season, Madison Square Garden, the site for Game 1 of our TBS doubleheader. The Wizards and the Knicks, the return of Michael Jordan. Comes your way about 7:45 Eastern Time. Up until then, we will get you ready here in Studio A, where we're back. Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and Charles Barkley. Well, this season working out already just the way we wanted it. Michael Jordan back playing, Charles Barkley
back with us.
Exactly the way it should be.
No, I should be up there with Michael in New York, but
why didn't it happen, John?
My body didn't hold out. I was fat.
Did you? You know what? We were in Miami, Kenny. Remember, we were down in Alonzo Mourning's Summer Groove. And at that point, you and I were having a conversation. I said, what do you think? Is Charles coming back?
I know that was an interesting, intelligent conversation.
Oh, it really was. It was deep. And he said,
very deep.
Kenny at that point said, you know what? He's coming back. He's coming back to play.
You looked very svelte back then. Yeah, I felt pretty good, but I wasn't playing worth a darn. You know what? The weight wasn't the problem. My talent was the problem. I couldn't play anymore. I would have came back. It wasn't cheeseburgers. I would have came back and been like you, mediocre. and I don't want.
Uh-oh, the Smothers Brothers.
The Smothers Brothers.
Great thing about being mediocre is you're always at your best.
You're always at your best. My problem was, I was playing like you two guys, and I was about to come back and hang out with you two.
How good is Michael going to play?
What you think, Dad?
See, we have differing opinions on this.
First of all, that's not
Imagine
fair.
that.
Don't tell people we have different opinions. I think Michael will do well.
Okay. See, that's different.
Michael's going to do well. But me and Kenny going to make some bets on the air.
Uh-oh. Leave me out of that.
I said, no. We're going to bet something legitimate. Because he don't pay money, so I got to bet something else. I think Michael will play well.
And I think he will play very well.
I think he's going to average less than 25 points.
I think he'll average more than 25 points.
And the Wizards will not make the playoffs.
The Wizards will make the playoffs.
Wow.
And those are the differences that we have.
But Michael Jordan will play well. He doesn't have enough help.
But see, I think the things that make Michael great to watch, people get confused with the things that made him great, which are totally different. Great to watch was the flying through the air, but that was not what made him great. The fundamentally sound athlete, the best in the world, made him great.
And the ability to adapt, I think, is what we're going to see at the age of 38.
Hey, he was the best. Chuck. He was the greatest basketball ever because he was better than everybody else.
He's still better than everybody.
Well, you don't know that. You ain't seen him play in 3 years.
In 3 years, in three games.
I can show you some more Hey, I can go back and get you some more videotapes if you want to know. I used to be bad in my day. We don't have those videotapes.
But you didn't get 41 2 weeks ago in a preseason game.
I got it at the rec center in Phoenix about 2 weeks ago. I was playing in a little
league. I can't believe you're sitting here. This is a sports night like no other in New York, and it comes exactly 7 weeks after the terrorist attacks of Tuesday, September 11th. This is a live shot of Ground Zero, and while the work continues there, they will play a World Series game at Yankee Stadium tonight, and Michael Jordan will make his return to the NBA at Madison Square Garden. Craig Sager is back in New York tonight. He was there at Shea Stadium when the Mets played their first game since the attack. He's been to Ground Zero, and as you return to New York tonight, what is the feeling there, Segs?
Well, I'll tell you what, Ernie, it's a lot different than it was on that first game at Shea Stadium, which was the first major event when New York did not know what to anticipate. You know, national unity in a time of crisis is not uniquely American, but it seems that Americans are better prepared to deal with it than anyone else, as New Yorkers have displayed. I was at Ground Zero, as you mentioned, back in September, and I went back today, picked up one of these pictures that was taken a few days after the devastation. All proceeds from this picture go to the New York Firefighters Memorial Fund. And it seems like every time you go back there, words can't describe what it is like, because obviously you can see pictures, but the devastation to see in person, it just brings total silence to you and you're lost for words. Meanwhile, New York has prepared for another major event, in fact 2 events tonight. They continue to dig out from the rubble of the World Trade Center, but they are digging in, obviously trying to go on with their lives. Security is very tight, as you would expect, not only here at Madison Square Garden, but across the borough at Yankee Stadium. Of course, the Yankees are going to take on the Diamondbacks. Everybody is searched. Everybody goes through metal detectors. And obviously, they've been prepared long ahead of time to come here early, otherwise they will miss the festivities in the pregame show. We are here very early, as you can expect, probably about 10 o'clock this morning, where the Wizards went through a shoot-around. Normally, when you walk out in the shoot-around, there's 3 or 4 people. Today, 300 or 400. And they all wanted to know from Michael Jordan what he can expect here in New York in the Garden in front of the New York fans.
They recognize basketball talent, you know, and I'm pretty sure my skills and my talent's going to be looked at with the microscope. And, you know, but I wouldn't have made the move to come back if I didn't feel confident that I could play the game of basketball at the highest level, you know. So I know the expectations are high, you know, which is normal. You know, coming to New York, they want me to score 60, but they want their team to win.
I don't know about the 60, Ernie, but I heard you guys talking in the studio about averaging 25 and more. This is his 28th appearance at the Garden. He's averaging 31 in the first 27. I think he tops that tonight.
And he's had at least 42 the last 3 games against the Knicks. Craig Sager, thank you very much for the report and the perspective up there.
He won't have 42 tonight.
I've heard that, Charles. And that remains to be seen. That'll be game 1, of course, of our doubleheader. Game 2 is the Blazers and the Lakers, which predictably follows after game 1, followed by Inside the NBA here on TBS. And TNT tomorrow night, Raptors and the Heat. And then the Wizards and the Hawks playing Thursday night on TNT. More Michael Jordan in week 1 of the NBA season.
The Hawks on TV, you know they better.
when we come back, they're talking three-peat in Los Angeles. And Kenny talks to the guy who's made the first 2 possible.
Michael was the greatest player when he left the game, and people are still anxious to see if he's still the greatest player. He still has it. I remember he once said that, you know, whoever wants to be a champion has to come through Chicago. So now I'm saying whoever wants to be a champion has to come through the city of Los Angeles. And that goes for anybody.
Other airline credit cards give you 1 mile for every dollar you spend. But only the Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express gives you that. Plus, you'll always get double miles at supermarkets, drugstores, and on Delta tickets. On top of 5,000 bonus miles just for getting the card.
Tip-off 2001 continues, and you look at the clock, 34 minutes and change until the Wizards and Knicks tip it off as Michael Jordan returns to Madison Square Garden, game 1 of our TBS doubleheader. We welcome you back to Studio A. Kenny Smith's been hanging out in Los Angeles. You're a Hollywood kind of guy.
Hollywood.
I assume this had something to do with basketball that you went out there, though.
Well, could you imagine? The Lakers are going for a 3-peat.
You know that, Charles?
They're going to get more than 3 of them.
But, no, you think about it, Ernie. Here's a team that's going for a 3-peat, but no one's talking about them. They're kind of sitting out there in obscurity. And you would think that that would bother them because of Michael coming back and all the different things, the World Series, but that just suits them right fine.
Stepping into the jam and I'm slamming like Shaquille. Never grips the microphone with a fist full of steel.
The Lakers, biggest market in basketball, Los Angeles, one of the biggest markets. Best team, 2 years in a row. Best 2 players on the planet. But everyone seems to be talking about some guy in Washington, number 23. How does that make y'all feel that y'all not really talked about right now in the preseason?
Michael was the greatest player when he left the game, and people are still anxious to see if he's still the greatest player. He still has it. I'm glad that he's back. You know, it's going to be fun going up against him. But I remember he once said that, you know, whoever wants to be a champion, it has to come through Chicago. So now I'm saying whoever wants to be a champion has to come through the city of Los Angeles, and that goes for anybody.
You talked about zone defenses in the league. You think that's going to affect anything that you do differently or actually going to help you?
It may take some points off my average, but I haven't been looking to be the leading scorer in the league for the last 3-4 years now. So when they double, I'm going to still get it out to my guys, and you know my guys are going to take the high percentage shots and before I became a man buster, I was a zone buster, because that's all they played on me in high school and college was zone. So now I just have to go back to some old tapes and just go back to the roots, and I'll be fine. I'm dominant every night. I come in every night, get beat out 2 and 3 guys, and then put the same numbers, do the same thing. And I never make a face when they try to flagrant or hack a shack me. It's because I'm not from this planet. Earthlings don't faze me.
How much better now that you are because you play with Kobe, and how much better he is because he played with you?
Every great organization had a great 1-2 punch. So, you know, he makes the game easy for me. I make the game easier for him, and that's just how it goes.
You've kind of also pushed him saying that it's his turn to get the MVP. Why you say that?
I say that because I'm not a selfish human being. I have 1 under my belt. I have 2 championships under my belt. He has 2 championships on his belt. It's his turn to get it. You know, the way he played last year and the way he's playing now, I think he's, you know, stepped his game up. He's very, very unselfish now, you know, keeping everybody involved as well as getting his. So, you know, it's his turn to shine.
September 11th, when that happened, how did that affect you, and how did it affect you going on?
I was at home in the bed, and I turned the TV on, and I thought it was a movie at first. And then I seen the other plane come, and then I realized that it was real. But President Bush, he's the man, and, you know, he's going to do what needs to be done. It was a sad day for everyone. I come from a family of firefighters and a family of policemen, and I think that they're the real heroes of this tragedy. And, you know, but, you know, the good thing about being American is that we stand up and we fight back. And I think, you know, President Bush is doing a beautiful job.
Certainly impacted everyone coast to coast. Talk about the Lakers now. You think it's a foregone conclusion if they dress these guys every night that they win it again, Chuck?
Well, they dressed them 2 guys as a foregone conclusion. But you add up all their role players. They're better than last year. With Samaki Walker and Jelani McCoy getting, first of all, people forgot about Mitch Richmond, who's still going to be a good player. And Lindsey Hunter. Derek Fisher, hopefully he'll come back. He's a terrific player. But if he does not, they're still going to win. I mean, I told you that they won last year. Actually, we did not even have to come in this year. We could have replayed the same tape from last year when I said nobody could beat the Lakers, and we could have took the night off.
Well, I'm going to beg to differ.
Oh, very good.
I think this is the only year, if you're going to get the Lakers, this is the year. If you don't get them this year, you got about 6-7 years where you might not get them, because I think all of those new players, that might be a hindrance. You got new guys who don't know the system. The chemistry is a little bit different. You got 3 new starters right now for the Lakers. You know, you have Samaki Walker, you have Lindsey Hunter and Mitch Richmond, who have not been part of that system, and playing in the playoffs is a little bit different. Playing with a new team in the playoffs is different. This is the year. If you don't get them this year, guys, though, do not try to get them.
You've got this guy shaking his head over here.
Well, that means I'm 100% right then.
You know, he reminds me of like somebody's little brother. Some people just disagree with their big brother just for the hell of it. There's not one pundit, I don't know what that means, I read in the paper. There's not one pundit anybody with any intelligence who said the Lakers are not going to 3-peat.
Is there anybody out there in the West that maybe makes them think, at least?
No.
Oh, come
I
on.
think San Antonio and Portland.
San Antonio.
You know, I think San Antonio.
They're going to really miss Derek Anderson.
Hey, take a look at Madison Square Garden, shall we?
This is electric.
This is Michael Jordan making his first appearance.
It's sad that we have to go to a highlight of watching a guy come out for warm-ups.
Why?
We were having a great conversation
and not hear what you had to say about Samaki Walker?
We were having a great conversation about a dynasty, and we come off that to see a guy warm up.
No, we were talking about Samaki Walker, and Michael Jordan walked out, and we...
You're drinking haterade over here. Stop hating, man.
For warm-ups.
The greatest player ever to play. I want to see him warm up.
Warm up? You want to see a guy warm up?
No doubt. That's why they get to the games early now.
That's amazing.
I thought he allegedly was a good friend of yours.
He's a great friend of mine, not a good friend.
Then what are you hurting him for on the warm-ups?
Oh, see, I want to see him warm up. I want to see him play.
And we're going to see that happen in a little over 25 minutes right here.
So what are we going to do for the next 25 minutes? Let's talk about the Lakers, the dynasty.
We'll be back with more in just a moment. We've talked about the Lakers enough, and we've got another
We're talking about a team
7 months to talk about.
There he is again. Look at him.
We're talking about a team that's not even going to make the playoffs.
Who is that? Who is that?
That's the greatest player ever.
Okay, watch him warm
up. And he's still not going to make the playoffs.
Okay. We got a good bet for that. Maybe let's run a mile for the loser.
And welcome back. Opening night 2001 will be added to the already immense archive of Michael's exploits on Turner.
He needs to come up with a great dunk here. If he gets a 49 or a 48, 49, he can't lose. Mission control, ready for launch.
Michael Jordan's return to the court gave rise to a new NBA phenomenon. Sellout crowds for preseason games. That hasn't happened since Kenny played. They watched as MJ knocked off the rust of a 3-year layoff beginning on October 11th.
I'm not afraid to take on a challenge. I'm not afraid to take a step.
The debut of Michael Jordan in a Washington uniform. Jordan takes the jumper and knocks it down. Jordan lays it in.
It was tough to guard me back then, and it still is tough to defend me now.
Here's Jordan in the post. He'll let it fly and hit another. Jordan on the run. Oh, tough shot. Jordan's jumper right there. Off the pump fake.
He still has it. I watched the game when he had 41.
He has caught fire.
It's been a while since I got in that rhythm. I gave you guys a dunk. Y'all been begging for a dunk. I even dunked the Boston. I'm not bad for a 38-year-old man. Well, the young dog's gonna chase me around.
This is Jordan with the ball guarded by Vince.
Well, I'm not gonna bark too far away from them either.
In the block, right post. It's Jordan, puts it on the floor, spinning, turning, shooting, and scoring. Michael Jordan.
Paul, he's been looking forward to that challenge. Quite frankly, I have too. He's a young kid, actually looking to come at me hard.
And he's playing Paul Pierce. Little rock move there. Crossover gets his shooting hand free. That was not an easy shot.
We will resume this, I think, November 7th. I'm pretty sure. But he's got to realize I'm coming in too. So November 7th should be a good game.
Michael Jordan in the preseason. Shade over 22 points a game. You see the comparisons with his career average. Now at the age of 38, turns 39 in February.
February 18th.
18th or 17th?
18th, isn't it?
Thought it was maybe the 17th.
Well, think again, because he's 2 days older than me. Well, no, I'm sorry, don't think again.
So did you talk to him?
I talked to him today. I called him to wish him good luck, tell him I love him. He's my brother no matter what. And hopefully, just hope he don't get hurt. Because I want him to do well.
You're going to be pretty geeked up tonight, you reckon?
I would imagine. I mean, your first game. Everybody geeked up for Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, first game in the Garden, 2 years off. Everyone's doubting you. Your best friends are telling you can't do it. You're not as good. You're just good. That geeked me up.
You know, the thing is, it's not about all that. Anytime you play the Madison Square Garden is great. That's a great place to play. The Knicks, a storied franchise. But anytime I play the Madison Square Garden or the Boston Garden or the old Chicago place or the Forum, my first years in the league, it was a different type of game, great atmosphere.
But you know what's funny about Michael, Ernie? You watched that interview. He knew after the post game when they played the Celtics again. He said November 7th we'll resume this. This is in the preseason. He knows November 7th game. He already said when we play these guys again. He felt Paul got the best of him. That's a competitor.
As we go to break, more from the Jordan Vault. We'll be seeing more nights like these.
And Michael Jordan feels it, and it's going to be awfully tough to slow him down right now. Boom. Michael Jordan.
Here's the post up by Jordan. Off the spin.
If they do, if you double team, they're going to spot up. Michael finds the opportunity. Whittington with a jam. That was outstanding.
skies where it's 20 below. What household item fuels this hot ride? And ooh, talk about a tongue twister. Ripley's Believe It or Not. Tomorrow at 8 Eastern and Pacific on TBS Superstation.
Will she feel the same way if you lose your hair?
Sure. She'll just feel it about somebody else.
Off the glass.
That's one of them like them movies. You should wait for it to come out on video. We should wait for that game to come out on video. That's not worth showing.
We're on top of every story.
They're
here
undefeated,
on opening night. 17:54 until tip-off between the Wizards and the Knicks. Okay, let me get this straight. Michael gets what tonight? Points-wise?
23. He's going to get 23 points.
Obviously, I'm going over 25. But more importantly, he's going to win tonight.
Oh.
He's going to show these guys that I'm here to win
you want
and
to
not
bet.
to score.
And we ain't betting no chump change. Well, they're not going to win tonight.
Sit-ups, man.
Hey, Latrell Sprewell will score more points
than Michael Jordan.
Boy, a lot of stuff I have to keep track of here tonight. That is it for now from Studio A, but I will keep track of it. He has a little edge to him today.
Yeah.
It's an opening night doubleheader. Champion Lakers getting their rings later tonight on TBS. They host the Blazers. But first up,
it's going to be ball like me and Kenny soon,
the Wizards and Knicks as Michael returns. I hope to be like you two.
There you go.
Let's go to New York.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true.
Jordan to drive. Hangs. Fires.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
My stickers. Give me back my stickers. I'm the only one that knows how to use them. They're no use to you.
The only person who might know would be the great and wonderful Wizard of Oz himself. Wizard of Oz? We're on our way to see the wizard now, to get him a heart.
And him a brain.
I'm sure he could give you some courage.
Oh, we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. He is the Wizard of a Wiz, if ever a Wiz there was. If ever, oh, ever a Wiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one because of the wonderful things he does. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
And the Wizard has come to the Big Apple. It is fitting that two of the biggest events in this country tonight are being played out in New York City, about 5 miles from here. Game 3 of the World Series. And here inside Madison Square Garden, the opening of the NBA's 56th season with the return of their favorite son. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Harlan. Great to have you with us for another season of NBA basketball on Turner Sports. In a matter of moments, the curtain will rise, the floor will be lit, and the long-awaited appearance will happen. The return of Michael Jordan. The last time we saw him, he was with the Chicago Bulls, and he was 35 years of age, winning another championship. Now, he is 38, beginning his second comeback, not far from where he was born in Brooklyn, New York. So it's a big night in the NBA and a big night for the city of New York. A lot of festivities in store for you now as we send it to our public address announcer, Mike Walzewski.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Please direct your attention to Garden Vision. At this time, we'd like to introduce a message from the President of the United States of America, George W. Bush.
Good evening. I'm pleased to join you in the season opener of the NBA. On September 11th, our nation suffered a terrible tragedy. But the American people are strong, and we're united. We love our freedom, and we will prevail. We prove that every time we show up in an NBA game. We are determined to live our lives, and sports is an important part of our national life. Athletes entertain us, but they can also teach us about teamwork and perseverance, about striving for excellence and the value of hard work. I thank the NBA for its support of this nation. I wish all the teams and all the players the best of luck and the best of success. May God bless you, and may God bless America.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Ladies and gentlemen, here to help welcome our heroes, the Commissioner of the NBA, David Stern.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Madison Square Garden in New York City, in the United States of America. Thank you for joining us as we dedicate this game and our entire NBA season to our heroes, our firemen, our police officers, our EMS workers, and our armed forces, who protect us and the cherished freedoms that we enjoy. Those dedicated men and women will be represented here on the floor tonight by all branches of the United States Armed Services, by the New York City Fire Department, the New York City Police Department, the New York City Emergency Medical Service, the New York City Relief Workers, and the latest group to serve us so valiantly, the U.S. Postal Service. Before we get to them as part of our player introductions, please join me in welcoming someone who has provided extraordinary leadership for our city and our state, New York Governor George Pataki.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you. This is another great night at this historic arena, and we've seen so many great nights here. We've seen presidents and political leaders from around the world. We've seen legendary rock and roll stars. We've seen sports heroes. And let's welcome one of our great sports heroes, Michael Jordan, back here tonight. Congratulations and good luck to you in your comeback. But for all the great moments and legendary figures and heroes who have been in this garden, 10 days ago, I saw this garden filled with true heroes. Firefighters, emergency service workers, police officers who risked their lives to defend our freedom. We're here tonight because of them. So let's salute the silent heroes, the quiet heroes whose names don't appear in light. Let's thank them. God bless them. God bless our men and women fighting against tyranny around the world. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you. It's an honor being with you. Thank you.
And now, please welcome the New York City Police Department's ceremonial unit. And now, let's meet the Washington Wizards, who are joined tonight by representatives of our nation's postal and military services. The head coach for the Wizards is Doug Collins, who's joined by United States Postal Service letter carrier John Tosi. The assistant coaches are James Hughes, Brian James, Larry Drew, and John Bach. The trainer is Steve Stricker. Now the reserve players for the Washington Wizards. Kwame Brown. Babai Jones. Teron Liu. Tyrone Nesby, Bobby Simmons, Etan Thomas, and Chris Whitney. And now the starting lineup for the Washington Wizards. At forward from Connecticut, number 32, Richard Hamilton. And from the United States Marine Corps, Staff Sergeant Max Guevares. At forward from Duke, number 44, Christian Laettner. From the United States Coast Guard, Seaman Greg Click. At center from Georgetown, number 55, Jahidi White. And from the United States Air Force, Airman First Class Joseph Healy. At guard from Fresno State, number 4, Courtney Alexander. From the United States Navy Aviation Storekeeper Second Class, Sonia Gaddy. At guard from North Carolina, number 23, Michael Jordan. From the United States Army, Sergeant First Class Carl Pendergrass. And now it's time to meet your New York Knicks. The Knicks are joined tonight by some of New York's heroes. The head coach for the Knicks is Jeff Van Gundy, who's joined by World Trade Center relief worker Serena Joyce. The assistant coaches are Don Shady, Tom Thibodeau, Steve Clifford, Andy Greer, and Greg Brittenham. The trainers are Mike Saunders and Saeed Hamdan. And now the reserves for your New York Knicks. Shandon Anderson. Marcus Camby. Howard Isley. Othello Travis Knight, LeVar Postel, Larry Robinson, Charlie Ward, Clarence Weatherspoon. And now, please welcome the starting lineup for your New York Knicks. At guard from St. John's University, number 13, Mark Jackson. And from the New York City Fire Department, Lieutenant Steve Rossiter from ladder 149. At guard from Tennessee, number 20, Alan Houston. from the New York City Police Department, Lieutenant Robert Fitzer from Battalion 57. And forward from Alabama, number 8, Latrell Sprewell. From the New York City Emergency Medical Service paramedic, Michael Fields. Forward from TCU, number 40, Kirk Thomas. And from the Port Authority Police Department, Officer Pat Hardy. And at center from Louisville, number 50, Felton Spencer. And from the New York National Guard, Sergeant David Silva. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise for the presentation of colors by the NYPD Ceremonial Unit, accompanied by the United States Merchant Marine Academy.
Off-time march.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to observe a moment of silence for all those affected by the tragic events on September 11th, and for those working to defend our nation. Thank you. And now, we ask that you remain standing. Here to perform America the Beautiful, please welcome Harry Connick Jr. and Branford Marsalis, joined by guitarist Jonathan DuBose Jr.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Will you help us out one time? God bless America. I can't hear you. Come on. Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. Come on. From the mountains
singing of our national anthem. Please welcome from the New York Police Department, Carl Dixon and Anne Marie Maloney.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we'd watched were so gallantly streaming,
and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night
that our flag was still there.
Oh, say
does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the home of the
Don't miss the action on CNN Sports Illustrated. Call your cable or satellite provider.
When it comes to food, a lot of places have silly ideas to bring you in. But once you get to the taste, where's the fresh? Hey, Clucky, want something made fresh? Uh-huh. Come on. Try one of the new Subway Selects made on fresh-baked gourmet bread. Susie?
Right, Tim. Subway's got 4 new Subway Selects, like the delicious...
He looks, he gives to Jordan. Jordan to the circle, puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over, and the Bulls have won.
One of the many exciting memories of Michael Jordan, Kevin Harlan alongside Hall of Fame coach John Thompson and former NBA All-Star and a member of the championship team in Boston in the mid-'80s, Danny Ainge. And Danny, you played until you were 36, which is hard to believe. Michael Jordan is going to try to play in this league at 38. What can we expect?
Well, Michael, first of all, he missed 5 years in his 30s, so he's really only 33 in basketball years. But all summer long, I've had a theory that Michael's really coming back so he can train. He can be an example to Kwame Brown, Brendan Haywood, Rick Hamilton. He really wants these guys. No better way for him to teach than to practice, play 40 minutes one night, come to practice the next day, work on his jump shot, get in the weight room.
He's almost like a coach on the floor. We saw him today, in fact, at the shoot-around here at the Garden, instructing right along with Coach Doug Collins. And John Thompson lives in the Washington area. John, we know about Michael Jordan, but tell us about what other things have to happen for this Wizards team this year to be successful.
Well, we know that Michael's in the house by the atmosphere that's here, Kevin. He needs some visitors now. Those visitors need to be Rip Hamilton, #1. He's got to get involved in the party. Christian Laettner has to come and become very aggressive so Michael's not out there alone. These are the guys that have experience for the Wizards. Also, you need some impact from the bigger guys on the inside. Jahadi White's got to rebound and defend. You've got to get other big guys involved in the movement inside to defensively secure things a little bit out there in the house.
A lot of buttoning down to do, and the fourth member of our team is across the way as we send it over to Craig Sagan.
Well, thanks, Kevin. One day he's raising the curtain on a comeback on Broadway. Another, he's pounding the gavel at the closing of Wall Street. So it's been the past 24 hours for Michael Jordan in New York. After the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell almost 300 points yesterday, Michael turned fears into cheers and tried to relax jittery investors who were speculating over the possibility of a prolonged war in Afghanistan. Now, his excursion to the New York Stock Exchange was well publicized. What most people don't know is he then accepted a personal invitation from New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani and toured Ground Zero. Like most of us who see Ground Zero for the first time in person and witnessed the devastation firsthand, Michael said he was overwhelmed and at a loss for words. After several silent moments, he then shook the hands whose work efforts have continued for 7 weeks and told them all he is proud to be a New Yorker. That raised a few eyebrows until he then revealed that, yes, he is a native New Yorker, born in Brooklyn. Kevin?
Thank you, Craig. It is opening night in the NBA. We're at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks and Wizards next.
Up and down, this is how we work it. Grab the big Sprite and you know we jerk it right out the fridge. It's just like this with a dab dib. Yeah.
I give a pound to my man with my right hand.
Yes.
Because I keep the Sprite in the left hand.
Okay.
And then I push the button when I don't want to hear nothing. I let it go when I want to hear something.
Yeah.
This is how we flow when we in the studio. Freestyle with Sprite. Yo, how the rest go. First things first, a big yo thirst. Sprite, all right?
All right, guys, bring it in. Bring it in. Hey, where's Billy?
He's sick. He's our best player. Yeah, we can't play without him.
Come on, it's gonna be okay.
It's for the championship, Coach.
There's gonna be a lot of other games.
Hey, I can play.
Do you know how?
I'm not bad.
He's tall. What do you think? All right, let's go! Hey, if we win, we get to go to McDonald's. So don't play.
The Garden in New York. Kevin Harlan with John Thompson, Danny Ainge, and Craig Sager. For the Wizards tonight, Michael Jordan, Christian Laettner, Jahidi White, Courtney Alexander, and Rip Hamilton. And for the New York Knicks, Latrell Sprewell, Kurt Thomas taking the place of the now retired Larry Johnson. Felton Spencer taking the place of the injured Marcus Camby, Allen Houston, and Mark Jackson. And now we will show you what happened just moments ago. The special red, white, and blue ball that was signed earlier today by both the Wizards and the New York Knicks. Both balls will be auctioned later on to benefit the families of the tragedies of September 11th. Look at Michael Jordan, who is obviously, John, been adored from afar and from near, but tonight I think he really felt a very great compassion from this sellout crowd here at the Garden.
Very definitely so. I think that this is a tribute to Michael the man as much as it is to Michael the player. But it's going to be interesting to see how the Wizards' younger players are affected by this atmosphere that is absolutely awesome in here.
Danny, you talked with Michael Jordan at length a couple of hours ago. What kind of mood is he in? What kind of mental framework does he bring not only to tonight but the entire season?
Well, Michael really has a framework of trying to be a coach and being an example out there, but at the same time, when the shot goes up, the first tip, Michael's going to play to win. I know he's so competitive, but Michael wants to be recognized as a great owner and player personnel and decision maker with players as he does as a player. So I think tonight he knows he has to carry this team to some extent, but he really wants to see those young players develop quickly.
And playing a lot of small forward throughout the season, we expect, although tonight he will have a different matchup.
Well, tonight he's going to guard Mark Jackson, and I think Doug Collins is going to try every time, every night to find a weak link for Michael to guard so he doesn't have to carry the load at the offensive end and the defensive end.
The officials tonight here inside the Garden for this historic game, Steve Javy, whose dad was a longtime NFL referee, Mark Wunderlich, and Derek Richardson. So the Washington Wizards, who a season ago without Michael Jordan were 19-63, and the New York Knicks, who a season ago were 48-34, but lost in the first round of the playoffs to the Toronto Raptors. And the NBA season is underway. Courtney Alexander with Christian Laettner on top over the defending Felton Spencer. And Sprewell takes it out.
Kevin, that's a good sign because Laettner's got to take that shot, and he's got to take it aggressively, and that'll get Michael open a lot more.
Sprewell, who has now become the leader of this New York Knicks team, is fouled quickly by Courtney Alexander. In the act of shooting, he'll go to the free throw line.
And we can see the New York strategy. There's not even a wait for Michael to put the ball on the floor. I mean, they're running right at him. That shows you not only respect for Michael Jordan, but lack of respect for Michael Jordan's cast.
Take a look at the New York Knicks. Patrick Ewing, of course, discarded 2 years ago. Larry Johnson no longer with this team, and Jeff Van Gundy has got a lot of things he's got to rearrange with this team. Number one is playing without Marcus Camby, who's out for at least 5 games with a foot.
And he's the only guy out there on this whole team, on the whole roster, that can block a shot. He's great at slashing off the ball. They need his offensive rebounding because Sprewell and Houston can shoot a lot from the perimeter.
One of the things that you'll see to compensate for lack of post play, you'll see that guards do a lot of posting in this game. Even Mark Jackson likes to post.
Inside White, rejected by Felton Spencer, and here comes Sprewell the other way. Accelerating on Alexander, who himself knocks away the shot.
Well, that was one thing Doug Collins was concerned about, the transition defense for the Wizards, and they got back good, so I'm certain he's pleased with that.
Alexander has 2. And a quick lead for Washington. The former Washington Bullets, now the Wizards. Jackson, guarded by Jordan, intercepted by White, and out to Michael. With Jackson in his way. His first shot tonight, and the rebound by Hamilton.
The Knicks definitely have to box out better than that. I mean, if you don't have your best rebounder in the game, that's a bad sign. Everybody went to the glass. Nobody touched anybody.
Michael Jordan takes it inside for his first 2.
I think that's a key for Michael, being able to finish around the basket. I know he can shoot jump shots, but he's got to be able to get to the rim to spread the defense out a little bit and to have that threat. And everybody questioned his athleticism a little bit, but he got a clever touch around the hoop.
It's also an indication that Marcus Camby is sitting on the bench in street clothes.
Absolutely.
Kurt Thomas puts it in. His first 2 points tonight. First time a full-time starter. Hamilton to White, and off his hand and out of bounds, and a Washington turnover. We'll mark it down at the 10:28 mark of the first quarter. Michael Jordan puts in his first 2 points.
Well, they're forcing him left to the middle, and no help is there. No help at the basket. Like you say, Marcus Camby would have swatted that.
They're so dependent on Marcus Camby, who's a great weak side rebounder, but they've got to adjust to the fact that he's not there.
Hamilton guarding Houston. Allen Houston, who was the leading scorer on this team a season ago and a 2-time All-Star.
Very interesting.
By 1.
Excuse me, Kevin. Very interesting. Mark Jackson put pressure on Hamilton. They turned the ball over, and now Jordan is bringing the ball down the floor. We talk about Jordan's position. He'll play the post. He'll play point guard. He'll play small forward. For this Wizards team, he's got to play everywhere.
Hamilton hits. It's the first time we've seen Sprewell guarding Jordan.
Well, that's the kind of game Rick Hamilton plays. He's a great shooter coming off screens. He's a scorer. He's not a point guard. If you can be pressured by Mark Jackson, then you got problems.
You've got a good point there. I can't even disagree with you on that one.
A Kurt Thomas foul. First of the night on him.
That's a good matchup of the power forwards. Kurt Thomas, a very aggressive player, has a tendency to get in foul trouble a lot because of his aggressiveness. They probably would like him coming off the bench versus starting.
Jordan with a series of fakes and throws up an air ball. And Jordan has started the game 1 of 3.
Well, he threw up an air ball, but what was even worse, the Wizards didn't have anybody go to the offensive board. Hattie White was the only one there, and the other 4 guys went backwards.
Sprewell fans on the 3. Vacuums in his own miss, and a dribbling violation. That's the thing about Michael Jordan. All season long, every number he puts up or does not put up will be scrutinized and overanalyzed.
And I think that's a dilemma because, you know, Michael wants these guys to grow and develop, and he wants it, but he knows there's pressure on him every night, just like in his prime. Everyone's going to judge him based on what he used to do, and there's pressure on him to score.
Alexander with the miss. Jackson throws it away and picked up by Jordan. He duels with Jackson and misses it inside. Picked up by Kurt Thomas. Mark Jackson, who's 36-year-old, on the 38-year-old Jordan. Houston with the miss outside. Rebound by Hamilton.
Even though Michael missed that layup, his anticipation to get that ball was great.
Hamilton with another miss and picked up by Allen Houston. Kurt Thomas with the pass over to Allen Houston. He's got 2.
But those shots are coming entirely too easy, Danny. I mean, they've got to play better defense than that. The Wizards are also so conscious of transition defense that they're not going to the offensive boards at all.
Well, you've got to make Allen Houston a driver. He just came down the court wide open. Rick Hamilton and Courtney Alexander, they've got to pick up their defense. We know they can score, but to win in this league, you got to play at the other end.
Hamilton's got 4, and the Wizards by 1, and a quick timeout taken. The Jordanaires won steal, but he couldn't cash in at the other end.
Great anticipation, like Coach said. As he goes down the basket, this is where we got to see the Michael Jordan. He would have always finished this, and I think as the year goes along, he'll get stronger.
How you doing? How you doing?
Hello.
These guys took care of that thing, right?
Hey, Mikey, we take care of that thing? Hey, Nicky, you took care of that thing, right?
Yeah, sure. Come on, please. Hey, did you take care of that thing yet?
Yeah.
You took care of that thing, right?
Hold on. Yeah. Steer there? Yeah.
You took care of that thing, right?
What I'm about to propose to you is both highly lucrative and highly dangerous.
You want to knock over a casino?
150 million without breaking a sweat.
Smash and grab job, huh?
Slightly more complicated than that.
Oh, yeah.
He'll kill you, and then he'll go to work on you.
Scared? You suicidal?
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief.
Check the batteries.
Ocean's 11, rated PG-13, starts Friday, December 7th.
Feel the excitement. Live the experience. Come be a part of the action. Get your tickets now to the world's greatest game, live and in person. Call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or log on to NBA.com for tickets. There's nothing better than being there. Tickets are on sale now.
What a shot! It's a pledge pin, sir. A pledge pin on your uniform!
Well, you know Michael Jordan, but you may not know the Jordanaires. Guys he's playing with, like Richard Hamilton, are already in this game tonight, has 4 points. He played at UConn. Christian Laettner has played for 5 teams in 9 seasons. He's from Duke. Courtney Alexander, one of the top scorers coming out of last year's draft. And a lot of other guys you'll be hearing about. Tyronn Lue used to play for the Los Angeles Lakers, but at number 5, Kwame Brown is the 19-year-old high school player drafted number 1 overall and personally selected by Michael Jordan.
Well, he's personally selected by Michael, as was 4/5 of the players that are on the Wizards team. But I think the biggest thing that Kwame has to do is get accustomed. Can you imagine a 19-year-old kid coming just out of high school and getting baptized in this environment that he's in? Fundamentally, he's got to learn a lot of things, and he's just got to be a little patient, I think.
First high school player ever drafted number 1 overall. Washington on top, 8-7. Jordan has 2 points so far, 7.5 to play in the first quarter from the sold-out Garden in New York. Jackson for 3. Rebound by Jahidi White.
That's how the Wizards are using Michael. He's playing Jackson. He's leaving him to go and help one of other people, and Darren Jackson are making him take the shot.
Jordan for 2. And now he's got 4. And the Wizards have their biggest lead tonight of 3.
Well, they want to make Michael a jump shooter. They're not going to double team him out on the perimeter. I'm surprised they didn't switch better than that, just give him the open shot. But they will double team him if he gets down on the block.
Both teams shooting in the low 40 percentile so far to begin the game. And Michael Jordan picks up his first foul.
Well, as you said, Dan, it's all right to make him a jump shooter, but you better not make him a free throw shooter on the perimeter with nobody around him.
It's Houston inside on Hamilton. Houston now has 6.
And Hamilton's just too light to defend Houston on the block. When Houston gets the ball down that low, they've got to come quicker and help him like they're doing with Michael.
Jordan again brings it down, sheds the defensive free well, and nails it inside. He's hit 2 in a row.
Well, and no one else has touched the ball. You know, that's the thing. They say people stand around and watch Michael, but right now Michael's taking the game over. He's bringing it out of the backcourt, catching it and taking it. And, you know, someone else is going to have to step up at some point tonight.
I understand what you're saying in the big picture. You know, when he's going like that, it may be good, but this was his team with nobody else is touching the ball with him.
Jahidi White, who played for John Thompson at Georgetown, gets that rebound and feeds to Michael again. Now he faces Allen Houston in the double by Thomas. And inside to Laettner, who has the mismatch on Jackson. Will he try to exploit? Spencer comes in and clubs him. And a foul called on Felton Spencer. He's traveled around the NBA in his 12 years.
Well, right here, we got a pick and roll, but it's guard on guard. I mean, that's just an easy switch right there, but they don't switch, and they just let him get the open shot. The next time down the court, they run at him before the pick and roll even starts. And Michael is a great passer and really understands the game and found Christian Laettner open under the basket with a mismatch.
Well, and I'd like to have seen Christian be a little bit more aggressive quickly for that shot. Michael hit him. I think he had Mark Jackson on him, which is a tremendous mismatch. Christian is just so unselfish that he's got to really be concerned about setting himself up a little bit more.
Michael, again, personally got him in a trade last year. He says he knows how to play.
Well, he knows how to play. Christian's had some success. He's a good secondary scorer. He's not a guy that creates much of his own offense, but he's smart, experienced player, can pass, shoot, knows how to play. Exactly.
Outside, Jackson to Thomas.
Well, that's where you want him taking the shot. I think that his fact that Thomas needs to be inside, that's where he's a factor, not outside taking the deep jump shot.
Kurt Thomas picks up his second personal foul. Rebounding is going to be key for both these teams. And the Knicks, a notorious poor rebounding team, but right now tied at 6 in that category, as they bring in Othello Harrington and take out Felton Spencer.
And they're a much better team, particularly offensively with Othello. Othello is a good low post player. Do a good job.
Hamilton off a screen, fights off the defense of Jackson. Rebound by Thomas with the loose ball foul assessed inside on Jahidi White.
Well, when you talk about poor rebounding, I think both of these teams are not teams that you're going to get excited about as far as getting rebounds out here. I liked what Rip Hamilton did that time. He came off the screen, he shot the ball without hesitation.
Art Jackson works inside on Jordan, scoops it to Thomas for 2.
Beautiful play by Jackson. Jordan had him covered, though. Michael's telling Christian Laettner right there, hey, don't come help me. I had Jackson under control. We don't need to double team him on the post.
A foul called on Allen Houston as he got tangled up with Courtney Alexander. That's the first on Houston, who signed a mammoth $100 million deal this past offseason, covering 6 years. Now he is finding what the pressure is like on his shoulders. That kind of money, he's got to perform.
Well, he's been making like 50 or 60, so I guess that's a slight pay raise for him, but he's been making a lot of money here in New York, so I don't think it'll be too much of an adjustment.
Alexander the miss with the shot clock down at 2. Another loose ball foul assessed inside. It's on the New York Knicks. And they put it on Kurt Thomas, who now suddenly finds himself with 2 personal fouls. And he'll leave, and they'll bring in Clarence Weatherspoon, and Jeff Van Gundy's second replacement tonight. With Larry Johnson retired, Weatherspoon is going to have to provide something inside.
Yeah, and Harrington. They're both similar. They can both score a little bit down low. They're both undersized and don't have great lift, but they both are hard-working guys that they know how to play.
And they're not afraid to bang. I think that's what the Knicks are going to need. Defensively, they're going to have to play position defense as opposed to blocking shots the way Camby is capable of doing.
Jordan just set a screen, but Alexander couldn't hit. Here come the Knicks the other way. Sprewell for 3.
That's too easy. You know, in the preseason, they got destroyed from the three-point line, and right there, Michael was just a little too soft on Sprewell. Had no pressure, no hand in his face on the shot in transition.
Alexander again, who began at Virginia, then went on to Fresno State, and was the #1 scorer coming out of last year's draft. Jordan, shot clock at 5. Works on Sprewell for 2. And Harrington gathers in his first rebound.
Well, and Jahidi needs some help on the offensive boards. They're pushing him. He's going to the offensive boards, but because of that lack of size that the Wizards have, and they're so conscious of getting beaten, coming back to defense, that they're leaving early.
Weatherspoon with the miss. Here comes Hamilton the other way. The Knicks have made 2 substitutions so far, and Washington has not made any.
Well, Doug Collins told us before that he was going to make the John Stockton-like substitution, get Michael out early. They had a 14-9 lead. I thought they would do that, but they've waited a little bit longer than they thought.
Laettner with the miss. Rebound by Harrington and by Weatherspoon. Now, with 3.5 to play, we're tied at 14. The Knicks have had 1 lead early in the game of a point. Sprewell inside on Alexander, who provided some pretty good defense.
Well, that's one of the reasons he started the game, because the Knicks guards like to take you inside and jump over you. So they put him in. He's got the court, and he's got to show that he can stop Sprewell from doing that easily, at least. You wonder how long Michael's going to be out there now, though.
Jordan has started 3 of 8. He's got 6.
And right here, this is what you wonder about Michael in transition. He's carrying awful lot, playing point guard, playing shooting guard, doing a little bit of everything, but that's not the defense I'm accustomed to seeing Michael play.
They're back. We're not too old for this. Gibson, Glover, and some new blood.
I just don't want it coming out of me.
The Superstation premiere, Lethal Weapon 4, coming November 11th, only on TBS Superstation.
The time has come to witness the power of one.
Freeze!
From the director of Final Destination, on November 2nd.
There's only one place he could be going.
One man bend reality to control the universe.
There's never been anything like what I have become.
Jet Li, the one. Rated PG-13. Opens Friday.
This is the bucket that will save America from ordinary fast food. KFC original recipe chicken.
Now enjoy 10 pieces of the Colonel's finger-licking original recipe chicken for just $7.99.
Put that in the burger. Eat the chicken. There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
Celebrity Profile, bringing you closer to the stars than ever before.
When I was beginning this business, I was painfully shy.
You have to go through hell. I hope that you come out of it having learned something.
Sam, guess what? What? Hollywood dog. Get out of here.
You know too much about me, okay?
I was floundering, was kind of shoved into acting.
An up-close and personal look into the lives and careers of today's hottest stars. Celebrity Profile, every Wednesday at 10 p.m., only on E!
People, put down your ordinary fast food. KFC's home-style pot pie is back with juicy chicken and vegetables in every bite, all in a hot, fresh-baked, flaky crust. Hurry, get KFC's pot pie for $2.99.
There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
Well, you know, at first I was hurt by it because I said, well, why come back after leaving on such a high note? But now I see his point. I see how you can miss the game, something that you love so much. You want to get back to it.
With all the great players that play in professional basketball, to have a player dominate the way that he has, in my opinion, will again, maybe not for a long period of time, but will again, is amazing. You know, it would be like Barry Sanders coming back and his first game running for 200 yards, which he very easily could do.
Everybody weighing in on Michael Jordan, who has again started the game 3 of 8, 6 points. He does have a steal with those 2 assists. Washington has missed their last 6 shots, and Jordan will take a breather, and taking his place, Tyrone Nesby, 4 years out of UNLV, who started 22 games a season ago for the Wizards. Washington led early in the game. Their biggest lead in this contest was 5. Knicks have come back to tie it at 14. Leitner remains in the game, grinding into Weatherspoon and takes it up. Missing again. Rebound by Mark Jackson. Came in a trade mid-last season from the Toronto Raptors and rejoins the team where he was the Rookie of the Year back in the late 80s. Harrington and Popeye Jones in for the first time guarding. And he schooled him.
Harrington has really evolved into a pretty good low post player. That's not a shot that he normally makes. He likes to get the left-handed jump hook in the middle of the paint. But his offense, he has capabilities of putting up some numbers.
The thing that he does well, he's very patient. He doesn't press his offense. Takes his time, reads the defensive player extremely well.
Jones just hit that shot, and now the Wizards and Knicks are tied. You see the field goal percentage. Sprewell with another triple. Rebound by Alexander.
See, Alexander is a person that's got to initiate some offense on this team, too. Michael's on the bench. Right now, you're looking out there at Hamilton to score. You're looking also at Alexander to score.
Rip Hamilton puts it in. The national championship at UConn. Michael Jordan likes him, and 7 points now for Hamilton in the game.
I would like to see Christian Laettner become a little bit more aggressive. He's a very unselfish player, but on this team, I think that they need for him to be more aggressive offensively, especially when Michael's on the bench.
Across the lane, Houston had it poked away, retrieves it Weatherspoon. Shot clock at 4, loose inside, and diving forward is Jones. They call a jump ball.
Well, the interesting thing, Danny, right now about Christian Laettner is he's past the point of unselfishness. He's almost coming down to being downright foolish because he's got too many offensive abilities to be as passive as he's acting. He's acting like somebody who's still playing with the dream team. He's not on the dream team now. He's got to score.
Shandon Anderson will now come in for the New York Knicks, taking the place of Sprewell. He was acquired in a trade with Glenn Rice, so now he joins this team. He came from Houston, where he started every game a season ago. And Chris Whitney has now come in at the point, retrieves that loose ball right there, and he replaces Courtney Alexander.
Might see a faster pace now for the Wizards, particularly with Whitney in the game.
Laettner with a good spin move for two. And that's what you're talking about, Danny.
No, I like that. He just caught it and went. He didn't wait for a double team. He's being assertive right there. And maybe he just needs to get in the rhythm of it. He had a slow exhibition season like a lot of veterans can. That was a good sign.
Anderson with his first shot as a New York Knick from three. Whitney chases the ball out of bounds. And it's off Washington.
Well, I like how he's moving without the ball, too, right there. But a great move. Othello just got tricked. Thought Christian was going to go straight to the basket.
We talked about the Jordanaires. Hamilton's got 7. Alexander with 2 and on the bench. And Laettner still in the game with 4 points. Washington, since Jordan has been out, has outscored the Knicks 7-2. A lot of times there was the fear by both Doug Collins and Michael Jordan. The others would just sit around and watch Michael as opposed to really getting involved in the offense themselves.
Well, they did sit around and watch him an awful lot, and that's all a part of getting accustomed. These guys are guys that admired Michael growing up. They have a chance to see him in practice. But at this point in time, Michael is so competitive, he doesn't need any more picture takers. He needs guys to get out and play with him.
Hamilton picks up his first.
I don't understand why Hamilton's still on Houston. I mean, Tyrone Nesby's a much better defender, and Allen Houston's the best offensive player on the court out there. Hamilton is too light.
And let's send it over to the 5th member of our crew. We got all kinds of people here. Peter Vesey. Peter, what's your take on Michael Jordan?
Well, Kevin, I was talking to Johnny Bach before the game, who was the assistant coach of the Wizards and was with him with 3 championships in Washington. And he believes that Michael can absolutely be a force for this team. But what does that mean? Does he have to dominate for stretches? You know, Doug Collins thinks he can dominate for a stretch. Maybe that means a quarter or 2. But Bach does not believe at this point that he can do it for a game or a series of games. And I remember when he used to be able to dominate for seasons at a time and maybe even a decade.
Yeah, a decade is what I remember.
A long 10 years, you're right. The foul was called on Christian Laettner. And at the free throw line is Allen Houston.
Now, the biggest question I still have about Michael is he going to get better as the season goes along, which I think he will. He'll get in better shape, or will he break down? And that's the one I'm curious to see. I know he can play, and he's got the talent, but like Peter just said, night in and night out, quarter after quarter, it's going to be difficult because he has such a burden to try to create offense for his teammates.
Well, particularly if he's got to pull the wagon by himself. A lot of it is going to be predicated on the fact that guys like Laettner, guys like Hamilton step up and play. Then Michael doesn't have to do as much as he's had to do in the past.
Yeah, that'll bring some ooze from the coach. That's a second turnover by Washington. That ball whistled out of bounds over the bench in about 5 rows up. We're down to the final 14 seconds of this first quarter. Charlie Ward has come in and is guarded by Chris Whitney. Houston has it, guarded by Hamilton. That's the time remaining in the first. 9 points for Houston. Driving inside. Shot was altered. Jones has it. First quarter has come to a close. Michael Jordan finishes on the bench with 6 points and 3 of 8 from the floor. He played the first 9 minutes of the game. In the season opening game in the NBA on TBS NBA Tuesday.
TBS Superstation presents Sunday, November 18th. From executive producers Mel Gibson and Jet Li, a Superstation original movie.
You can't win! Separate, kill them!
Billy Zane, Invincible. Sunday, November 18th. Only on TBS Superstation.
Sweet.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary.
Edge Gel is going to clean up your act with Edge Clean Shave Gel.
Edge Clean.
Edge Clean's got a built-in facial cleanser that helps lift dirt and oil every time you lather. To help lift dirt and oil every time you shave.
Edge Clean Complete.
So clean up your act with Edge Clean Shave Gel.
It is the Big Apple, but don't try and eat it. We're now entering the center of...
All right, cool. How you guys doing? Center as in dial down the center. That's right. Can I borrow that? It's the 100 C-A-L-L-A-T-T. All right. Got a good crowd.
So Dustin.
Exactly. It's free for you and cheap for them.
On every call counter juice?
Daar Dims van Kom de Gaia.
For collect calls.
Save big bucks on every call. Just dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Shrek is coming to home video and DVD on November...
November what?
I can almost remember.
It's on the tip of your tongue, right?
Well, not exactly.
Oh, November 2nd.
Buy Shrek on video this Friday.
What else you got in there?
Man, that sandwich was good. Is there another one?
We're saving it for Dave.
You can't resist Wendy's bacon mushroom melt with all that bacon and cheddar.
Hey, Dave, why don't you stay out a few more laps?
Okay.
Where's that sandwich?
Gerald, I hope no one ate my lunch. When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
Ernie Johnson in Studio A. First cut in of the season. Man, am I nervous. Jalen Rose hit 9 out of 9 in the first quarter at New Jersey. That was his 10th bucket, 10 out of 10. And do I hear 11 out of 11? Yes, I do. 23 points as they play early in the second quarter, and the Indiana Pacers on top of the Nets, 45-28. Jason Kidd making his debut at the point for the Nets, 3 points and 2 assists. Oh, that one's out of the way. Let's go back to the Guards.
All right, EJ, thank you. And by the way, Indiana starting a rookie point guard tonight out of Iowa State, Jamal Tinsley. And let's go over to Peter Vesey.
Yeah, I heard you say about Jalen Rose going 11 for 11. I'm kind of surprised at that because he came into this season not happy about starting at small forward. Isaiah Thomas is going with Jamal Tinsley, the rookie, and Jalen feels that he's the point guard. He's that kind of mentality. So he and Isaiah have had some friction coming into this season. Back to you.
We begin the second quarter. Washington is hitting 38% of their shots. The Knicks hitting 39% of their shots. Charlie Ward out there with Harrington, Houston, Weatherspoon with the shot clock at 2. The three-point shot, no good. And the fifth member of the team out there is Shandon Anderson, an offensive rebound for one of the poorest offensive rebounding teams in the NBA. The Knicks. Houston is hounded.
Might be playing against one of the poorest defensive teams in the NBA right now.
You're right. Michael Jordan is back in the game, and out there Popeye Jones, Nesby, Whitney, and Kwame Brown is in the game. He is 19 years old. He was the #1 overall pick by Doug Collins, and there he is, his first minutes in the NBA. Popeye Jones just picked up a foul.
Kwame is going to be a great player. I've watched him play in 3 exhibition games, and I think he's going to struggle on some nights. He's going to show some signs of his greatness, but it's going to have a tough time winning with him playing significant minutes early on.
Weatherspoon took him across the lane, and Brown picks up his first personal foul.
Well, the big thing with Kwame is that he can't get impatient. There's so many fundamental things that he's missed by coming directly into the NBA that he's learning those things in practice, and now he's going to have to learn a lot of them on the court.
Clarence Weatherspoon at the free throw line. 5-point lead has been the biggest lead by Washington in this game so far. Hamilton's got 7 for the Wizards, and Allen Houston has put in 9 for the New York Knicks. Ex-Cleveland Cavalier, Philadelphia 76er, Clarence Weatherspoon.
I'm a little curious, Coach, why they're not double teaming when Weatherspoon has the ball against Kwame. He's never seen those guys one-on-one. He's going to have a difficult time. Maybe they want him to get in foul trouble.
Chris Whitney from outside nails a 2. Whitney's out of Clemson, coming off a career year in points and rebounding a season ago.
And I think that's the strength of his game is his outside shot. There he is down low right there, but you see his athleticism and his length. Weatherspoon was able to weasel by him along the baseline, but couldn't get the shot off.
Slither. You can tell Weatherspoon feels he's got an inexperienced player on him, though, because he isn't hesitating. Once he gets the ball, particularly in the low post area, he's taking Kwame.
Penetrating inside is Charlie Ward. And a foul was called on Washington. 10:39 to play in the second quarter. That's on Chris Whitney. Well, on the last break, this is what was occurring at midcourt. Joe Frazier. Down goes Frazier. There he is, sitting right next to us. He's got more gold on his hand than around his neck. Look at that. It's a boxing.
Look at that hand right there. That's gonna.
Wow.
That's the kind of aggressiveness that Michael wants from his inside players.
He's going to need every ounce of that.
But I mean, they're staying in here a little bit. You know, they're playing against the Knicks, but the same token, I've seen them fade when Michael wasn't in the game. They still are not as stage frightened as I thought they would be.
Whitney has hit 2 in a row from the exact same location for the Wizards.
And there's no hesitation on him. He has got so much confidence in his outside shot. And again, he's a beautiful shooter. And at the point guard position, that's his strength.
Anderson and Jordan. What is interesting about that matchup is Anderson guard Jordan the last time they met in the finals with Utah and the Chicago Bulls.
He didn't do such a great job either.
No, no. Very few did. Here's Nesby on top to Whitney, who's hit a couple. Into Jordan, picked up by Anderson and by Harrington. And Michael makes it work.
Well, that's the shot he was working on before the game started. He got down on the block and started fading a little bit outside, especially if the double team is coming from the top. He went baseline. It's very difficult to double team there.
Fade for Jordan. And an elbow thrown on Ward by Whitney. Whitney picks up his first.
But right here, Shannon Anderson has the same size. He's not a great athlete, doesn't have great lift, but right there, Jordan spins away from the double team. He's been doing that for years. Whenever he sees the double team coming, he goes away from it. Shannon's got to help send him to the help.
You mean he's been double teamed for years?
Yeah.
And triple teamed, right?
He lit us up for 63 one night on double teams.
I'm glad you said us. That was when you were playing with Boston. Anderson had it swiped inside. Jordan 1-on-4 and pulls up from 17 with the rebound by Harrington.
Well, I say us because Walton gave him most of those points.
I knew there was somebody else involved. An outside Ward with a deceptive move and a twirl inside and knocked away by Jordan. 2-on-2. Whitney and Nesby tries to grind it. Faced with the double team. Whitney, he's hit 2 in a row. He's hit 3 in a row. And that time a triple. And gives Washington their biggest lead tonight. New York has not scored from the field in 5 minutes. And Washington, led by Chris Whitney off the bench with their biggest lead tonight, 30-22 over the New York Knicks.
TBS, TNT, and McDonald's are throwing an NBA house party, and you're invited. Log on to NBA.com or AOL keyword NBA.com to enter. Winners get a trip to Atlanta to hang out with the NBA on TNT studio team and enjoy a Thanksgiving feast. The NBA house party presented by McDonald's.
Jamal is about to go positively medieval.
It is the year 1328.
Ah!
It's not his century.
What is that, man?
It's food.
His roadkill.
It's not his fight.
So you'll help with the rebellion?
Oh, no, I got to get out of here. Woo! Power to the people!
But Martin Lawrence is going to live the nightlife.
Prepare to taste cold steel.
Black Knight, rated PG-13.
Do you mock me? Do you mock me?
November 21st, only in theaters.
So it all comes down to this. In the waning seconds, a field goal will decide it all. There's the snap. Good hold. The kick is up. It appears to be long enough. And it splits the uprights right down the middle. Oh, that's as pretty as it gets. An absolutely perfect ending to a perfect day.
My baby loves me. She gets me feeling so fine. And when she loves me, she makes me know that she's mine. And when she kisses, I feel the fire get hot. She never misses. She gives it all that she's got. And when she asks me,
The cars from Chrysler. So distinct. They have an attraction all their own.
that's what I say. I see yeah.
For 17 years, Spike Lee has been sitting in this prime seat at Madison Square Garden. Sitting in one of his 2 courtside seats tonight is 12-year-old Jessica DeRubio, who lost her father, David DeRubio, a Brooklyn firefighter, in the September 11th tragedy at the World Trade Center. Spike donated the seat to the Twin Tower Relief Fund. An auction was held, and the winning bid was over $101,000. The high bidder wanted his name to be anonymous, and he wanted this night to belong as it does to Jessica. Kevin?
Great story, Craig. Thank you very much. One of many great stories in this city. Just under 9 minutes to play now in the second quarter. Washington is on top with their biggest lead tonight, 30-22. New York has missed their last 6 from the field. Jordan has Ward. Jordan's got 6. Another New York Knick turnover with Nesby, and Jordan floating inside is Tyrone Nesby.
Well, New York's offense is struggling. You know, we know they're a good defensive team, and they're doing a terrible job right now executing their half-court offense. They don't look like they've played together before.
They miss Camby. They miss Larry Johnson. Ward for 3. He's a pretty decent three-point shooter, but he fans right there. Jordan, who has 3 steals and 8 points, with Whitney now feeding to MJ. Inside to Popeye Jones. Sliding by Othello Harrington. Here comes Charlie Ward, the former Heisman Trophy-winning football quarterback at Florida State, feeding to Anderson. Into Harrington. Brown with his second block tonight. And he rides him inside, and a foul is called. And a second foul on Brown.
Well, you're looking at this. I think it's a great thing because Kwame went after him very aggressive, and that's what they need, a weak side shot blocker. He came down and relaxed, and he didn't gain his balance, so Othello gives him a fake, and when he puts his arms up, Othello uses that and gains a foul. But Kwame still, that's the kind of thing you want to see him doing because he's got to do more big man things, the blocking of the shots, being aggressive inside.
You know, he had a personal workout with Michael Jordan before Jordan even announced he was going to come back, and Jordan had looked at the other high school kids coming out, including Shane Battier, who just finished an All-America season at Duke, but he selected this kid to be his first pick.
And you saw why. I mean, you can see in a workout one-on-one, he's got incredible size, athleticism, a good body. I mean, I think he's going to be special, but I think it's going to take him a couple of years, and we'll see how patient Doug Collins and Michael Jordan can be.
Jordan set a great screen. Whitney had hit 3 in a row. Brown tries to gather it in, but his momentum takes him out of bounds.
But that's another good thing on Brown's part. You know, that stuff about shooting from the corner and driving from the corner, how quick he is good. But you need a big guy to do big man things first, and then you expand your game to the other things. I like he hit the offensive board. He blocked the shot. Those are good signs.
Mark Jackson is in for Charlie Ward and hits. So the Knicks out there with Anderson, Jackson, Harrington, Weatherspoon, and Sprewell. New York gets a field goal for the first time in 7 minutes as Jordan tries to take it. And a foul is called. It goes on the New York Knicks, and it's on Harrington for the first time.
Well, Michael does a lot. They call this the pistol play. Michael steps right up there, back picks Mark Jackson, nails him right there. Jackson tries to get the act. Wide open shot for Whitney.
Well, an interesting thing about Michael, when you watch him defensively and offensively, we always think of the flamboyant things that he does, but the guy plays the game so well on the floor that he does so many little insignificant things that go unnoticed.
A miss, but an offensive rebound is hauled down by Popeye Jones.
Well, that's terrible on the Knicks' part. I mean, they're absolutely relaxing now.
Harrington the rebound on the Jordan miss. Approaching 7 minutes to play in the first half. Kevin Harlan alongside John Thompson, Danny Ainge, Craig Sager, and Peter Vesey. The Garden sold out for the 392nd consecutive game. Anderson for 3, and the Knicks now 1 of 8 shooting 3-point shots tonight.
Well, that's good defense by Washington, making them shoot outside. That's not the Knicks' strength, is their outside shooting. Take away the post-up advantage of Mark Jackson on Chris Whitney.
And Jones slides in for 2 at the other end.
Slides. One of their strengths is certainly not getting back to defense either, because they reacted to the play at the other side and made the second mistake by not getting back.
And a 20-second timeout taken as Washington has their biggest lead tonight. Jordan has 9. Well, it doesn't matter if you're 38 or 39. What these two individuals are trying to pull off has been remarkable. Clemens' season is almost finished. He is pitching tonight in Game 3 of the World Series. An incredible regular season this year. And the Jordan legendary numbers and titles and banners to the side right there. Of course, Mario Lemieux comes back in the NHL for the Pittsburgh Penguins. We've seen a lot of players be revived in their late 30s and find great success.
Well, Roger Clemens, that's a good comparison right there. Roger Clemens is one of the guys that I've been around in my days in Boston that's as competitive as Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and all those guys. He is a great competitor, and They got their hands full tonight, Arizona.
I've got two more great ones. Former New York Ranger Mark Messier. And what about Doug Flutie, the quarterback at 39 years of age for the NFL San Diego Chargers? His team is 5-2.
And what about Randy Johnson?
And Randy Johnson.
Arizona Diamondbacks, 38 years old, and shutout last night.
Can you believe this? I cannot believe Danny Ainge is praising the older player. We have to keep this conversation going.
For 2 years, John.
He's naming them.
Older quality players. I never said anything about Patrick Ewing doing anything.
Oh, come on. Patrick Ewing is just fine.
Harrington picked up his second personal foul. And that ball is kicked away and out of bounds. And a foul called on Michael Jordan for a second time. I guess there was some question when he would come back, would he get the carte blanche treatment from the officials? And so far he's got two.
Well, he deserves the carte blanche treatment from the officials. I don't know why people would even be concerned about that.
Well, he got it for the first 15 years of his career.
Thomas.
And he earned every bit of it, too.
Weatherspoon fed him nicely, and Kurt Thomas puts that up and in. He's got 6 points. Jordan hooks it beautifully to Brown, who faces the double and squeezed one up. Here comes Shandon Anderson, the Knicks now with a 3-on-3. Washington back nicely on defense, and that pass got lost in the fray going to Sprewell from Anderson.
Well, New York is just out of sync. I don't know if they're intimidated by Michael Jordan coming back, or they're just, I mean, they're so out of sync. 26 points in the first quarter and a half against one of the worst defensive teams in basketball. It's ugly.
John, 10 turnovers already by the New York Knicks.
Well, yes, and they are playing very lethargical, but in the same token, I think that in looking at the Wizards, they have more poise than I expected them to have, particularly with all the excitement surrounding Michael coming back.
Nesby with the miss. Washington shooting 43%. Knicks 34% from the field. Sprewell nicely gives to Jackson, who spoon feeds Weatherspoon. And Brown right there along with Jones, but somehow he made it work.
I guess he didn't want to pick up his third foul. He's playing like he's in high school, like he's the star of the team again.
I was going to say, he locked out. You know, he's got to learn to, when he gets those hands up, to still move those feet.
Jones driving inside, finds 2 and a foul. And Washington playing with wonderful confidence right now. Jordan set that up. 3 fouls now on Kurt Thomas. The Washington Wizards, who have led by double figures, 11 points in this game, lead now 37-28.
The shadow has risen again. The Dark Lord Sauron needs only this ring to cover all the lands of darkness. It must be destroyed.
Directed by Peter Jackson. Rated PG-13. Starts December 19th.
The Michigan Army National Guard and your education. The Army National Guard is your partner in education with benefits that allow you to go to college virtually tuition-free. With 15 participating colleges and universities with tuition grants to choose from, you can take charge. Take a look at the following participating colleges and universities. Join the Army National Guard and start your climb to the top of the class. For more information, phone us at 1-800-GO-GUARD.
It's unbelievable. They never let you down.
These guys are the best. They never give up. These guys rule. They know how to get things done.
The wildest thing in the world is when a company and its people actually do what they promise. Amica Insurance. Auto, home, life, integrity. Rated #1 by consumers.
The NBA on TBS is brought to you by NBA 2002 by EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. And by Lord of the Rings, in theaters December 19th, rated PG-13.
Speaking of Lord of the Rings, the championship rings will be with the Los Angeles Lakers tonight as they open up against the Portland Trail Blazers. New faces Mitch Richmond, Walker, and Lindsey Hunter. will now help that great championship team. That's next on TBS. And Peter Vesey, your thoughts on the world champion Los Angeles Lakers?
Well, Mitch Kupchak, took over for Jerry West as the general manager of the Lakers. He should be ashamed of himself for doing what he's done during the offseason. You just said adding Richmond and Hunter and Samaki Walker and Jelani McCoy, and only losing Horace Grant, who's basically an antique at this point, and Tyrone Lue. I think the rest of the league, their only hope is for Shaq and Kobe to not like each other a lot.
And they liked each other a great deal last year as they won that championship, and that will be immediately following this game on TBS. We've got 5:02 to play here in the second quarter. Wizards have led the majority of the game by as many as 11, and now 37-28.
Did you hear Peter call somebody an antique? That's worse than me.
Michael Jordan has 9 points in this game, 4 of 11 from the field, 3 rebounds and 3 steals so far. Shot clock at 11. Mark Jackson feeds to Sprewell. He's got 4, so he's been quiet. He's quickly doubled, which you can do now in the NBA. They can play zone defense, but there are a lot of things now new with the way the game is played. A fan right there by Anderson. And here comes Michael the other way as the New York Knicks have gone 1 of 9 from 3-point territory.
Shandon Anderson is getting wide open shots. I mean, he barely drew a rim on that. He's got to knock those shots down.
If you shot the ball like that when you were playing, you would have gotten wide open shots too.
No question. You're saying there's a reason he's wide open.
That's by design.
Jordan again putting it up and over Shandon Anderson. 11 for Michael Jordan.
Sprewell has to get more involved in the offense. They're running their patterns, and it's like a team early in the year. You're trying to do exactly what the coach says, but Sprewell is really the offensive threat out there.
Weatherspoon left uncovered by Brown, who gobbles in the rebound.
All they're doing is shooting the ball from the outside just because they're wide open. And I'm not one to talk about this because I'd shoot it too. But Shandon Anderson's a driver and a slasher. That's the strength of his game. He catches the ball up there. He's taking the bait and shooting every time. Weatherspoon, same thing. They've got to take the ball to the basket off those double teams.
So they've got to get transition baskets, or they've got to get to the baskets, as you say. Get the ball into Othello. He's got some post moves in there too, but you're pumping up those outside shots as he did and made. You're going to be in trouble if you miss him.
4th season in New York. Latrell Sprewell now has 6 points tonight, and the Knicks to within 9.
He's got to become more aggressive, Kevin, Danny, I think, because he's just, running the offense, acts like he's doing exactly what the coach wants him to do. That's fine, but they need a shot of energy right now.
Nesby going inside on Sprewell, and a foul is called on the New York Knicks. It's on Sprewell and tagged with his first.
Well, you're talking about a shot of energy. This is the guy that will give you a shot of energy. That's so great about him being out there. His presence, even on his misses, gives you a shot of energy, but he made that.
He's going to sit now, his second rest tonight. Here, the people that have defended him tonight, Sprewell, Anderson, and a little bit of Mark Jackson in there, too, trying to guard the legendary Michael Jordan. He's 5 of 13 from the field with 11 points, and his Wizards lead by 9.
Hey, Mom. Dad wants to know what's for dinner.
Tell him nothing until he apologizes to me.
Mom said no dinner until you apologize.
Forget it. She owed me the apology.
Dad says he's really sorry. He wants to take us to McDonald's to make up for it.
He said that?
Yeah. Mom says you were right. She thinks we should go to McDonald's.
Really?
I'm sorry.
No.
Can we please go to McDonald's now?
We love to see us smile. L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love is all that I can give to you.
A hero is someone who is strong and determined, courageous and dedicated, someone who is loyal to their family and friends, and known for their kindness to strangers. They are defined by the spirit of their convictions and the selflessness of their actions. They are our heroes.
I think it's good for basketball, especially at all levels, because he will do the fundamentals and show a willingness to play and play together as a unit that I think we're losing touch with. Especially the fundamental aspects of it. There's no player any better in fundamentals than that guy, and there's been no better player.
Well said. Like in his passing.
Yeah, passing is a fundamental that Michael has always learned. Maybe his time he learned that at North Carolina, but great vision, loves to play the game, very unselfish player, even though he shoots the ball a lot. But we even saw it in shoot-around this morning. I mean, Michael Jordan doing all the fundamentals, and that's where he'll be able to teach the players, is in practice and through all the minutes he's playing, and then it translates into games and victories, hopefully.
Chris Mullin, the now retired Chris Mullin, a legendary player at St. John's and many years in the NBA.
Talking about the fundamentals of shooting, that guy knew a little bit about fundamentals too, didn't he?
Leitner has a hard time heaving that one up, and here comes Jackson out there with Weatherspoon, Fella Harrington, Sprewell with the ball. Allen Houston is out there, slicing his way inside. Sprewell, Weatherspoon lost it, picked up by Popeye Jones.
That was a good pass, but I'm not too certain that he shouldn't have taken that shot. Sprewell is being extremely unselfish right now, but they need a spark. They need him to get out there and score some baskets for them. Sometimes being selfish is not always a bad attribute in a player.
And the turnover story right there, Sprewell was 6. The ball hit the underneath portion of the backboard. It was off Washington. That's why Jeff Van Gundy's New York Knicks will inbound. And out there for the Wizards, you've got Hamilton, Alexander, Nesby, Popeye Jones, and Christian Laettner. A lot of unknown players as Sprewell makes it work with Tyrone Nesby in his face.
Well, that's what he's got to do. I mean, he's got to put some shots up now.
I'm surprised at how poorly New York's playing. I still think that they're the better team on the court tonight. They just haven't been able to make shots, and they've settled. They've been kind of lulled to sleep by the wide-open outside shots they're getting.
You were here a year ago on opening night against Philadelphia, and they got nailed by over 30 points by the 76ers as Courtney Alexander makes that one work. He's 2 years out of Fresno State. Second team all-rookie a season ago. 4 points for him. Approaching 2 minutes to play in the first half. Jackson aims from 3 and buries it.
That's all it takes, is to make a couple of those, make them pay, but they don't have to shoot all threes. They can still penetrate and kick out for the next guy, because when they get out of the double team, Washington is so bad defensively, New York is going to get a shot anytime they want.
Alexander outside to Nesby. The hits from outside. The last time that Jordan left the game back in the first quarter, the Wizards outscored the Knicks 7-2. Now the Wizards holding on to their lead, 43-35. Whistle away from the ball. The foul is called.
Well, that's a good sign, Kevin, because during the exhibition, anytime Michael would go out of the game, they seem to have fallen apart. They seem to have learned from that experience, and now they're showing a lot more poise, as you indicated.
Foul was called for a second time on Popeye Jones to Craig Sager.
Now we're talking about Michael Jordan's comeback. You know, it entailed more than just putting on a pair of sneakers and donning a new uniform. He had to shed about 35 pounds and polish 3 years of rust. His personal trainer, Tim Grover, is here tonight. I talked to him a few moments ago. He says Michael right now is at about 90%. He still needs to improve his first step, get more lift on his jump shot. And surprisingly, the biggest adjustment is flexibility in his right index finger. Remember, he sliced it after that 6th championship on a cigar cutter while celebrating and obviously taking a vacation in the Bahamas. He had surgery, and he complains right now that he can't get the shot off the way he did before. So that's what they're working on, flexibility on his finger.
Kevin? 35 pounds. He must have been eating with you, Kevin.
Now, wait a minute.
Or Charles.
We're thinking the same way. Jackson.
Let's let this conversation end right there. Before I finish, he'll be pointing at me.
Mark Jackson's got 7 points. He's resuscitated New York. All those 7 have come in this second quarter. As you take a look at Doug Collins, played in the NBA for 8 years with Philadelphia and was Jordan's rookie coach with the Chicago Bulls back in the mid-'80s. As we're talking about the past, let's go back to the 1992 finals.
There's Jordan for 3. Yes! Did you see that one? This is the greatest performance maybe ever in the single half.
6 3-point in that.
I remember. You don't have to remind me. I was on the team. We knew Michael was a great player. Obviously, he could do everything. But 6 threes, we never saw that in him. It seems like every time we played, he did something different.
Then did you coach Rex Chapman when he had that 9 3-point game up in Seattle?
I did, yes. First round of the playoffs.
Yeah,
that was incredible.
It was unbelievable. That tied a record for a game, but Jordan had 6 in the half and 35 at the break. Leitner, Alexander, back to Christian over Houston. Christian Leitner's had a hard time scoring tonight. Well, the Washington Wizards just 4 points.
He was drifting out, Kevin, on that shot as he was taking it. I still don't see Christian just grabbing it and putting it up with, you know, just that carefree attitude, because he's too good to be struggling offensively.
Shot clock is at 5 for Latrell Sprewell. Weatherspoon fends off Nesby, gathers it in, puts it into the hands of Othello Harrington. Finally tapped in.
Well, there was a travel and a double dribble they got away with right there, and then a missed lay-in, but somehow they were still able to score.
Just talking about Charles, he, Kenny the Jet, and Ernie Johnson are standing by in Atlanta. Final 13 seconds of this first half, where Jordan has put in 11, and his team has led by as many as 11. Shot clock at 3. Michael. Outside, Hamilton cannot beat the shot clock buzzer. 0.6 on the second quarter clock. So time remains.
I think Michael was frustrated that time with the pick and roll. I think he wanted just the spread and the isolation, but the trap slowed him way down. He couldn't go anywhere.
Just shy. Michael Jordan finishes 5 of 13 from the field with the 3 rebounds, the 4 assists, and the 3 steals. And let's send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, we talked about the Jordan-airs, his teammates. You've been in a Washington uniform about 6 years. What's it like to be up at halftime in New York?
It feels good. We came out and executed well. Unfortunately, down the stretch, they made some buckets and got back into the game.
What's it like now to be a teammate of Michael Jordan? All the fanfare we saw tonight, the celebration, what's it mean for you?
For myself personally, I think I paid my dues. We struggled here in Washington, but it's great. But we have to keep our focus on the game and winning some games. So that's our biggest concern right now.
Big point in the game, second quarter, you hit 3 shots in a row. Do you think you'll be that open in the second half?
I think I can. I think the team will come out. We have to be more aggressive on defense. We gave them some easy buckets down the stretch, like I said.
Wizards up by 2. Let's go back to Kevin.
Okay, Craig, New York finishes the first half on a 13-4 run. Mark Jackson keyed it with 7, all in that second quarter. And Ernie Johnson at halftime. It's Washington 43, the New York Knicks 41.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Welcome, folks, to Studio A, the AT&T Halftime Report. Ernie Johnson and Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley. And Charles has a dictionary out. It's frightening. What are you doing?
T-H-E. A magician, a wizard. I want to figure out the definition of the wizard. A magician, a conjurer, a sorcerer. Michael Jordan will be a magician if he can get that team into the playoffs.
A team that's leading at the half by 2.
Hey, you know the only thing that amazed me? Michael played pretty good the first half. The Knicks stink.
Yeah, they've come out a little sluggish, I would say.
I feel bad for Sprewell and Allen Houston. And that's why I said Marcus they beat Camby. No, they still going to lose to him. They better than that team. Okay. Marcus Camby should go in right now and ask to get his contract redone. Because they really, really need him.
Well, yeah, Marcus Camby out with an injury starting the year on the injured list. Michael's got 11 points, 5 out of 13. Sprewell has 10. Sprewell's going to outscore Michael in this game, you said.
I don't know, because Michael's getting his
What do you mean you don't know? You said that already.
No, we made a bet already, and we got to figure out what you're going to do. His field goals attempts. That's FGAs.
Yeah, I know that.
That's what Ainge was good for. No matter if you're hot or not, just shoot it.
The dean of nicknames in the NBA, Kenny Smith, has been thinking up one for Michael, as if Air Jordan needs a new nickname.
No, Air Jordan that's the old school. Because he's really...
We're old school, aren't we?
Yeah, he's not Air Jordan anymore. So, I was just thinking about it, and everyone, there's a lot of guys who's trying to chase what he is.
Yeah.
You got all of these different guys. You got McGrady, but I'm changing his name to the Blueprint. Because he is what McGrady, Bryant, and Carter, he's all these guys rolled in one. That's Michael Jordan. If he's still not what he was, to me, he's still the closest one.
Well, what have you seen from him in the
Blueprint?
What have you seen from the blueprint in the first half so far that encourages you about his comeback?
Well, not on scoring. We all know he still puts the ball in the basket, but this is what he's done to me to still be called the blueprint, because these are things that a lot of guys cannot do in the game of basketball. He finds other people. He gets them involved. This is the first play of the game. You think he's going to come out and shoot? He's going to give Christian Laettner a shot to this. He misses it here, but he's going to knock this shot down consistently if he gets these kind of open shots. Here, off the rebound, Michael gets it. He sees Popeye Jones just skating down court. Over-the-top pass is probably one of the toughest, fundamentally sound plays to make in basketball. Over the top, over the defense, he still makes fundamentally sound baskets. And I still say earlier, a lot of people get confused on what made him great to watch and what makes him great. He's the blueprint. No more Air Jordan.
You know, the great thing about life is we don't live in the past, we live in the present. Michael Jordan's a great basketball player ever lived. But now he's just a good basketball player. He's going to have some great games. But now he's trying to teach those young guys how to play. You know, McGrady and Vince, now I don't put Vince Carter in the same category as Tracy McGrady and Kobe Bryant. Those are the two guys who are going to try to be like Michael Jordan. They will never be Michael Jordan, but they're going to be pretty close before their career is over.
Michael has 11 points in the half. Charles said he will score 23 tonight. Kenny says he'll go for better than 25.
No, he
Charles
said
also says
he said he's going to get over 30
more than
tonight.
25.
No, I said
more than 25. I wrote it down.
That's a bet for the season. You said tonight he's
No,
going
I
to have
said
30.
tonight as well. Ernie is out. He
has
keeps
an
all of the
opening night
stats.
dissension, which I hate to see.
All of the
when we
stats.
come back,
You can't
they're the champions for 2 years running.
Yeah, a real basketball team.
We'll look ahead to the Lakers season opener here on TBS in just a minute.
The AT&T Halftime Report is brought to you by AT&T, proud sponsor of the NBA.
Look at Wilt, you look at Kareem, look at Magic. When it's all said and done, what you think they're going to say about Shaq?
Who knows what they'll say about me? But it doesn't matter because you know that I'll bust your ass. So, no, it doesn't matter what they say because you know what I'll do to you. You too little down there, man.
If he was 6'3", boy, it'd be a different story.
The Lakers are the best team. Two reasons, Shaquille O'Neal.
Are you kind of disappointed you didn't get to play, won't get to play against Charles this year?
I love Charles. Charles is my man, and whatever Charles wants to do, he can do. I love Charles, whether he plays the game or whether he doesn't play the game. Charles will always, in my mind, be the best little four-man ever to play the game.
So you tired of seeing that fight scene with you and him that we run like every day?
It wasn't really a fight scene because, you know, he didn't want to hit me. I really didn't want to hit him. I just wanted to tag him, but, you know, it was a wild punch. He tackled me. We laid there. We went out to dinner after the game. See, a lot of people don't know that we went out to eat after the game. It's all marketing.
Who paid?
He paid. He paid.
So that means you would have won the fight then, because if he paid.
We ain't want to fight. We ain't want to fight. That's my man.
You spoke about Charles. You kind of busted on Kenny. Nothing about EJ this time?
I can remember, I think the year was 80-something when you had the big schoolboys. Can you show that again for me? Just show one more time.
On this opening night of the NBA season, let's review the performances of a few first-year men and see if there were any first-night jitters.
The big hair and the big schoolboys, man, I got to get a picture of that, Ernie.
There it is.
But you're still my man, Ernie.
Oh, my God.
That's a little rough.
I had never seen that picture
You never
before.
seen that? He's an historian. Shaq's an historian about basketball, man. This guy knows stuff that people don't think he knows.
You know the greatest thing about Shaq? Number one, obviously, he's the best player on the planet, but he's probably the nicest guy. He works hard. My only question is, you know, he's only got 2 arms, and he hurt his little pinky toe. What is he going to do? How is he going to pick up those trophies this year and the next 3 or 4 years?
Because I'll tell you what, those trophies are heavy.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. There was the opening, too.
Like,
you know, you try to do that to Charles.
That doesn't bother me.
You took the high road.
I didn't know he was on the team when the Rockets did it. I just saw him in the photo afterwards.
So, is there any question that they win it this year?
No, there was no questions. I mean, you think about it. There was never a question the Bulls were going to win the championship when they had Michael. The Lakers are that type of dynasty. I mean, the thing is, I mean, Shaquille's on a whole nother planet. But we can sit here and argue and debate. They might have the second best player on the planet on their team. And he is 21 or 22. I mean, I forget. I don't know if he's aged a year. And Kobe Bryant been the most explosive player highlight reel during the preseason.
And we see them tonight in Game 2 against the Portland Trail Blazers. Opening night here on TBS. Back with more in just a second on the AT&T Halftime Report. It's been a special halftime, hasn't it?
Oh, my God.
I was doing some welding that night.
You can see Florida from where you're in Atlanta.
Michael's got 11. The Washington Wizards lead the Knicks at the Garden by a deuce. Third quarter, right around the bend.
The AT&T Halftime Report has been brought to you by AT&T, proud sponsor of the NBA.
In incredible shape, and he's going to have great determination. The Lakers are the best team. Two reasons, Shaquille O'Neal. Michael has two problems. Number one, he's competing against himself, the greatest basketball player ever. And he's competing against time. You can never beat your past, and you can never beat time.
Charles Barkley is in the house every Wednesday and Thursday. See the NBA on TNT.
The new phone book's here! The new phone book's here! I'm somebody now!
Anything in the mail?
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of dissemination of this telecast, or the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Bustling New York on the night before Halloween. All the stars are out in New York on TBS NBA Tuesday. On the opening of the NBA's 56th season. Washington led by Michael Jordan's 11 points on top of the New York Knicks by 2. Wizards have led by as many as 11. And here is the night so far for Michael Jordan. Presence on the floor, the leadership, all important facets of what he does so well.
Well, I think when you look at, as they indicate in the studio, the intangible things that he does. The things that's so important, though, is I think his teammates seem more relaxed than they have since.
All right, let's send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, we were talking about what happens when Michael comes out of the game. That was what Doug Collins talked to me at halftime. He said, you know, they were up by 9 points at one point, 39-30, with 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. He wanted to give Michael a rest, particularly since he had 2 fouls, but he suddenly looked up at the clock and saw that the lead had been cut down to 2. An 11-4 run to close that second quarter. He thought that was the big difference, going from an 11-point lead down to just a 2-point lead. Meanwhile, for the Knicks, Latrell Sprewell has the busy job. Not only does he have to guard Michael Jordan, obviously he'll get some help in the double teams, but Coach Van Gundy also wants him to release and run the other court and start the fast break and get moving at both ends of the court. So right now, 2-point game. I guess the Wizards have to be happy on the road. Kevin?
All right, well, Michael Jordan has been known to get after some things, and that is what he's done so far. In the air, kind of in the air, and on the ground. Sprewell into Spencer. And that's in the New York Knicks. Open up the second half as they tie it. Felton Spencer has played for many teams for many years in the NBA. He's out of Louisville. Patrick Ewing, of course, left here 2 years ago. No more Larry Johnson. Marcus Camby, the heir apparent to that pivot position, injured in a walking cast. Will not play for at least 5 games, maybe longer. Spencer rejects Leitner. And a Courtney Alexander 15-footer won't go. Rebound by Allen Houston.
And Courtney's got to learn to move without the ball. He's just kind of standing and watching the games being played on the isolations to Michael.
Sprewell into Leitner. And the rebound is swallowed by Jahidi White.
You're watching and Michael's pushing the ball up the court right now, and they're just all standing and watching Michael, not even running the lanes, just kind of standing and watching to see what he might do in the transition.
Hamilton slithering inside. Houston steals the ball. 4 Wizard turnovers. Ahead to Kurt Thomas. And 4-0 to begin the second half for New York.
Well, one of the things that's quite obvious that Van Gundy has told him to step the pace up and get down and test the Wizards' transition defense, as well as pushing the ball inside as quickly as they could.
Hamilton with a fake on Jackson.
Well, I like him. He definitely has to get involved in the offense a lot more because he shoots the ball so purely.
He's got 9, and he doubled his scoring from his rookie to his second year by 9 points. 18 points a game a season ago for Rip Hamilton. Houston inside. That's a goaltend on Jahidi White. Counted for 2. The Knicks on top by 2 with 2 minutes gone here in the third quarter.
Well, and this is one of the reasons. You see the Knicks pushing the ball down the floor in this terrible transition defense. They almost triple-teamed the ball. No communications was involved, and that's one of the reasons why Van Gundy is trying to attack them with the fast break right now.
Wizards with Jordan White, Alexander, Hamilton, and Christian Lee. New York Knicks, Sprewell and Houston, Jackson, Thomas, and Spencer. And a Knick foul, and this is on Allen Houston. He picks up his second of the night, and looked like Hamilton may have gotten scratched on the eye. New York's offense tonight, and this has never been known as a scoring team. You can see where they have gotten their points.
Well, they should be able to score. Washington's defense is not good. They haven't even had a chance to work on the new rules of the zone. They have so many young players they're trying to implement an offense. Their offense, they have no continuity. They just pass and move around. But New York should be able to score. They're getting open shots all over the place. They're settling for outside shots. And I'm sure Jeff Van Gundy told them at halftime to get the ball to the basket and take advantage where they had a big advantage in the first half of the free throw line.
Well, they really looked like a team that was practicing the offense, Danny, as opposed to looking to get shots off of the offense.
Leitner gets it, and Christian now 2 of 7 for the night. Here's Houston for 3, something that the Knicks could not convert but one time in 9 attempts in that first half. A good save by Spencer. Jackson, Sprewell for the triple.
And see, they're getting any shot they want. I mean, Allen Houston coming down the court after a made basket. He gets a wide open 3. That's just horrible defense by Washington.
Well, Nesby was the only one pursuing the ball. The rest of the Wizards stood in the lane, and the Knicks end up still getting an open shot.
Nesby is in for Hamilton. Leitner tries to corkscrew one up, and he traveled. A turnover for Washington. 5 for the game, 2 in the quarter.
Well, and you're looking at this, you see the effort by Spencer hustling. That's great hustle, getting out, getting his hands on the ball and diving for the loose ball.
Houston missed it. Here comes Alexander galloping the other way into the defense of Mark Jackson and finds 2.
That's a guy that needs to be included in that offense a little bit. I think he can do more offensively, Danny, than he's doing for this team. He needs to relax and become a part of things.
Well, right, but what he does, Coach, is, you know, he's strictly a one-on-one player. He needs to learn to play off of Michael and off of Hamilton and create some offense in other ways rather than just getting the ball playing one-on-one.
Well, there's only room for one-on-one play on that team, and that's going to be Michael.
Jordan has not scored so far in this second half. 8.5 to play in the third. Maneuvering on Sprewell. Inside to White. Coughed up. Another Wizards turnover.
Jihadi should have made that basket. That was a great pass. Michael's being very unselfish. He goes into him to get him started.
Sprewell with the 3. He's got 16, and he's recorded 6 in this third quarter. And finally, the capacity crowd of over 20,000 with something to cheer with 8:16 to play in the third. And the Knicks with their biggest lead of 6 in the game.
Now, Michael's trying to give him encouragement, but nobody, I mean, what is Tyrone Nesby doing down under the basket? No communication in their transition defense.
And a timeout by Washington.
World champion surfer Sonny Garcia drops into a 32-footer at Pismo and never leaves the beach. The Honda Sport Trax 400EX, America's favorite sport ATV.
It is the Big Apple, but don't try and eat it. We're now entering the center of...
All right, cool. How you guys doing? Center as in dial down the center. That's right. Can I borrow that? It's the 100CALLATT. All right. Guys are a good crowd.
So, Dustin.
Exactly. It's free for you and cheap for them.
On every call counter juice?
Daar James van Kom de Gaya.
For collect calls.
Save big bucks on every call. Just dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
The Honda Foreman ES with Trax Lock shifts from 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive on the fly. When the trail gets bad, it gets better.
I play center for the Bulls. I'm the point guard for the Mystics.
I play power forward for the Sixers.
Six man. My dad's the head coach for the Lakers.
Small forward.
The three-point specialist for the Celtics.
You can play or coach in the Junior NBA or Junior WNBA member league near you. Log on to NBA.com or call us at 866-JR-HOOPS to learn how you can participate as a player, coach, or parent.
I'm a small forward for the Spurs.
I'm the shooting guard for the Bucks. No, really, I am.
The NBA on TBS is brought to you by Edge Clean Shaving Gel. It helps lift dirt and oil every time you shave. And by Shallow Hal, a new comedy from the Farley Brothers, starring Gwyneth Paltrow and Jack Black.
So we better dig in right now on Houston, stay attached to him. If he curls, somebody's going to help him. Right. We can help back. Stay with him and chase now. Come on, guys. Come on now, let's go.
The words of Doug Collins moments ago.
The problem with that is some of the terminology. I question whether some of these young guys even know what that means. This franchise has some bad habits. They've been a losing team. That's why I think another reason why Michael's stepping out of the suit and putting on his basketball uniform to show that leadership, because they have such horrible habits, and you can see it tonight.
Jackson picks up Jordan. 10 seconds on the shot clock, and over Mark Jackson. Second miss in this half by Michael Jordan. Jackson the other way. He's almost as old as Michael. He's 36. And Sprewell picked up by Alexander. Again, new defensive rules this year in the NBA. You can play zone in New York's first second-half turnover.
Well, it's quite obvious that the Knicks are pushing the ball. They see the weakness in the Wizards and not getting back quickly. So they're trying to get down and get into very early offense, and it's effective. I'd like to see Michael try to initiate more offense, though. That equal opportunity offense stuff is fine, but this team, Danny, is not strong enough.
Well, I think New York's doing them a favor, actually, by coming out and trapping Michael at half court right there. They throw the ball to Christian Laettner. He doesn't even dribble the ball. He stands there with it for 3 seconds. He's got to attack and make a play off that double team.
That's the third personal foul on Felton Spencer. This is Jordan's 28th visit to the league's most storied arena. He played here last on March 8, 1998. And with Chicago, he scored 42 points, and he was 35 and now 38, making his second comeback. In his first comeback, 1995, after playing some baseball, played here against the Knicks and scored 55 points. So this has a very special feeling for him. 13 tonight for Michael Jordan. Jackson, rebound by Thomas, back to Latrell. Rebound by White. Is Jordan tired, Danny?
Well, Jordan has been tired throughout this game. I think after the timeout, he came back with a little freshness, but he has been tired a lot throughout this game. And Jahidi has got to catch those balls. They're not guarding him underside. That's the third time Michael's found him, and he has a tough time chasing the catching. He's like a tackle trying to catch a ball. They need to be a tight end at least.
Well, he's as big as a tag. He's as big as an offensive line, actually.
Watch yourself now. Watch yourself.
Hey, but we'll watch.
That's a big man.
We'll watch Jahidi shoot the free throws.
3 guys
now.
hitting the man underneath the basket.
Coach Thompson shot Jahidi how to shoot free throws too. Let's see how good he does.
No,
here.
I told him how to rebound. I told him let somebody else shoot the free throw.
Jahidi is 4 years out of Georgetown, a career 56% free throw shooter. Last year, a career high in points and rebounds. Born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri.
Well, in Jahadi's job, he's got to set screens. He's got to rebound. He's not going to be a major offensive player for them right now. He'll get a lot off of penetration and folks dishing him the ball, and he's going up for it.
Jordan has played 24 minutes. He has 13 points so far. Here's a whistle away from the ball. As Hamilton was trying to defend and picks up a foul. He's got 2 tonight.
Well, it's hard for Hamilton to get through some of those screens. The slightness of his body. You also are guarding a guy like Houston who's got good body strength. But I have noticed that Latrell Sprewell and Houston have stepped up their aggressiveness and aren't just running the offense.
Both teams shooting about 43% from the field. Here's Allen Houston. 2. White fights for the ball. Laettner gathers it in, and here comes Washington, led by Michael Jordan. Courtney Alexander working on Jackson with a drive and whittling his way toward the lane, and a foul called on Jackson of New York. He's got 2.
There again, the ball's thrown up a court. Michael does a good job of hitting him from half court up to the wing, and he holds it for 5 seconds before he does anything with it. He's got to learn to catch that ball, shoot, catch, and drive, and make a play. Everyone's standing around and watching him play one-on-one.
We have not talked extensively tonight about the new defensive rules, but what are both of your impressions so far, Danny?
Haven't seen anything. Yeah. I mean, haven't seen either team spend a lot of time. New York is traditionally a good man-to-man defensive team. I haven't seen any adjustments in their game. In Washington, like I said, I don't think they've had time to do much because they're so young.
Well, I agree. It's early in the year. I think during special situation, timeouts, under the basket, sideline plays, you'll see a lot more trapping. May see people spring into more zones, but it'll be strategically used more so than just an overall usage of particular zones and traps.
Hamilton. Washington is out rebounding the New York Knicks by 3, 26-23. Houston for 2 at the other end, with under 6 to play in the third quarter.
I think that's the matchup that the Knicks can really exploit, is the matchup of Houston being defended by Hamilton. Every time he gets a good shot, every time they go to him.
Knicks have 11 turnovers. The Washington Wizards have 7. Jordan against Thomas. And Thomas was shoving with a hand check and draws the foul. Now he has 4 personals for the New York Knicks. As you take a look at Jeff Van Gundy, now in his 7th year coaching the Knicks, took the place of Pat Riley.
Well, you know, and you asked Kevin the question about Michael being tired. I don't think he's ever played on a team recently where he's been under such mental and physical strain as he is with this team. Not only does he have to use up all his physical energy, mentally and guiding some of these younger players, he's going to be under stress too.
Now Jordan is 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Michael Jordan's biggest move is trading Juwan Howard when he was still the president of the team. And the guy that they liked the most was Courtney Alexander. He made sure that Alexander was definitely a part of that trade.
Well, they like Courtney Alexander, and they want Eton Thomas to come. He hasn't had a chance to play tonight, but he's a big man, young, a rookie, coming off an injury last year, first-round draft pick. But he's got to learn the game, too, and you can't play so many young guys. But the guy that they really like, I think one of the best moves they've made was the signing of Brendan Haywood in the trade from the Ron Profit.
And he's injured. Will play about 5 to 6 days, they think. The foul is blown inside on Othello Harrington. Picks up his 3rd of the night.
Well, Othello, you see he's coming in. He understands that Jihadi is going to react and block the shot. He tried to put his arm between him and the basket, but he pushed off. It was a good call, but also was a good play on Othello's part in trying to screen Jihadi off.
Leitner's been quiet. Alexander fires from outside. Hamilton dueling with Jackson inside. It's off of New York.
Well, there again, I mean, I think that was a design play, but why Christian Leitner catches the ball and goes out to set a screen for Courtney Alexander to shoot a 20-foot fadeaway. Christian can shoot and score one-on-one. I've seen him do it, and, you know, Othello Harrington's no defensive stopper.
Washington has missed their last 6 shots. Hamilton picks up another foul. He's got 3. You see the rebounding story right there as the Knicks now have leapt in front of Washington in that category, and that was a main concern. Doug Collins controlled the glass in some form or another. They did in the first half, but they're losing that battle here in the second. Nice pass inside to Harrington, and that feed from on top, and Allen Houston.
Same move without making contact. Stretched away from him, used the other arm to shield. Jihadi didn't attack him. Interestingly enough, Michael Jordan yelled to Christian Leitner on the last play. Good shot, trying to reassure him.
Leitner's 2 of 9, now 2 of 10 with that miss right there. Jordan is 5 of 15, and for the first time tonight, the Washington Wizards have gone below 40% shooting for their coach, Doug Collins, down to 39.5 from the floor.
I think Christian's been fouled the last 2 or 3 times he's gone to the basket. Maybe that's why he's a little gun shy out there, but I think that he's getting beat up down there.
Well, one of the things that he's reluctant to be aggressive offensively, you get out of the habit of doing it with a firmness and a confidence, too. He's got to get back in the frame of mind of a scorer.
Hamilton is out. Tyrone Nesby is in. And a foul for the first time is assessed Nesby. He played at UNLV, came to trade last November with the Los Angeles Clippers. Short clock at 17, big clock at 4:22 here in the third. Kevin Harlan, Danny Ainge, John Thompson, along with Peter Vesey and Craig Sager at the Garden. Shot clock at 9. Nesby guarding Houston. We're trying to guard Houston. That was easy.
It's easy
inside.
But, you know, this is just really bad defense, especially the new rules allow you to come and help easier from the weak side. And right here, they just isolate Houston. You know, Jeff Van Gundy's trying to get away from the isolations because the new rules, it's going to be difficult. But Washington hasn't figured out the new rules yet. Christian Leitner doesn't even ever get over there. He's not a shot blocker. It's bad defense. The play before, they run a double screen away for Houston. Courtney Alexander could easily switch out and take him the way the new rules allow. but they're not doing anything within the new rules to help them defensively.
Remember, one of the things that Doug Collins said to us is that they're way behind on defense. That's the indication of that. I went to one of their practices last week, and I saw him work on rotations. There was absolutely no defensive rotation on that play.
18 in the game for Allen Houston. 9 in the quarter. And the Knicks have their biggest lead. Here comes Jordan. He takes it inside, faces a triple team. That means Popeye Jones is open. Harrington gets the rebound. Here comes Jackson with a 3-on-3. And one of the best playmakers in recent memory, Mark Jackson, will feed to Sprewell.
Transition defense was better that time with the Wizards.
Over 2. Sprewell can't connect. Harrington with an offensive rebound.
And that was Michael's box out. Michael was the guy that should have boxed Harrington out and wasn't there.
Jordan has played 27 minutes so far. We're keeping track of those minutes because Doug Collins says that would be a huge determining factor in how much Jordan would play per quarter. Jordan last had a field goal in the second quarter with 4:26 to play. So far, nothing from the floor, and he's got 15. Clayton picks up his second personal foul. Sprewell at the free throw line. Sprewell had some interesting comments in the New York papers a couple days ago. He said this team is sliding downhill. It began with the departure of Patrick Ewing, continues with the retirement of Larry Johnson. Peter, you want to weigh in on this?
Well, you know, as we all know, Sprewell is the team's most vocal leader, but he also tends to be negative. Jeff Van Gundy would call it candor, but I would call it negative, and so would his teammates. Case in point was the beginning of training camp. Van Gundy, first thing that he said to the team was, let's not use our lack of height as an excuse. And the next day, Sprewell, and from then on, has been talking about their lack of height. You know, Danny, I know you want to be a general manager, and these players all talk about these things all the time. They say, why didn't you get a big man? Why didn't you get a quality scorer? Well, guess what? They're over the cap. Tell us how we're supposed to do such a thing.
I agree. There aren't any big guys out there, but I do agree also with Sprewell and that the team has gone downhill a little bit unless they get Camby back and he's healthy and plays like he did 2 years ago.
Well, the New York Knicks have the second highest payroll in the NBA, $83 million. As you take a look, some of the emotions, passions of Michael Jordan on his return to the NBA.
This November,
whenever you meet someone in the future, you're only going to see the inner beauty.
what you see isn't always what you get.
There she is. There's Rosemary. Holy cow.
But it just might be what you've been waiting for.
What does he see that I'm not seeing? I saw a knockout. I don't care what anybody else saw. I fell in love with Rosemary.
Gwyneth Paltrow, Jack Black.
What is...
Shallow Hal. Rated PG-13. November 9th, only in theaters.
Hey, looks like it's going to be a great race.
Yeah, I guess.
You're new around here, huh?
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
It goes like this. I face my ride. I'll take it to the top. Cause I want it. You need it. This will not be tonight. But I'll take a little time and I'm never gonna stop.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Good race. Thanks.
Make it a Bud Light.
My son didn't know how badly in debt I was. He didn't know how close we were to losing everything we loved. But he did see me crying from time to time. Now, despite all the debt I'm in, he only sees me smile. Because I found a way out.
If you have debt problems, then call Profina Debt Solutions, the nation's largest, most experienced nonprofit credit counseling service. Profina doesn't make loans. Instead, we work with over 50,000 creditors nationwide to lower your monthly payments. If you gather your bills and call one of Profina's credit counselors, within about 20 minutes over the phone, we can help you avoid bankruptcy and get the collection calls to stop.
I'm solving my money problems, and we're both smiling a lot more because of it.
There is help, and it's as close as your phone. Get your bills together and call Profina Debt Solutions. It's not a loan, it's a way out of debt.
As we did before the game in New York earlier tonight, we are here to dedicate this game and the entire NBA season to our heroes, our firemen, our police officers, our EMS workers, and our armed forces. They are the ones who protect us and the cherished freedoms that we enjoy.
And the commissioner was also here at Madison Square Garden, 64-57. The New York Knicks on top. There's Michael Keaton. And Chris Rock is here. Matthew Bodine. And there's Kevin Bacon. And New York Ranger Mark Messier and Max Bickford on CBS. Richard Dreyfuss, Oscar Award winning actor. And Danny Ainge is here, along with John Thompson.
Right next to Walt Frazier. One of my
yes. It's a star-studded group to watch this. We already know that one seat in the building sold for over $100,000. The story that Craig Sager told you about earlier tonight next to Spike Lee. That was money donated to charity, and Spike gave it up.
I tried to sell Coach Thompson's seat for $100 grand, but nobody wanted to sit by me and you, Kev.
If we'd have brought some food, they probably would have, right?
I don't blame anyone for not wanting to buy a seat, particularly sitting near Ainge.
Yeah. Othello Harrington just picked up his fourth foul as we take a look at Christian Laettner at the free throw line, a career high last year in free throw percentage and field goal percentage. After this game, we send you out to the Staples Center in Los Angeles. The world champions will take on the Portland Trail Blazers with the new coach, a couple new players, and hopefully a new attitude, because attitude is what sunk them last year.
Will David Stern be there? Speed of light?
I don't know. He can do a lot of things. I don't know if he can do that. But Danny, an interesting question nonetheless that you asked. Here's Harrington. 2.5 to play in the third. Shuffling inside on Jones, who gathers in the rebound. Chris Whitney from the floor tonight has gone 4 of 5. He has been the only consistent scorer off the bench the Wizards have had. Hamilton. MJ is on the bench. Shot clock is down at 8.
The Wizards are locking the floor. There's no movement off of the ball. The guy with the ball is going to be forced to take a jump shot.
Well, there's no continuity in their offense. They run one play, try to get whoever they want with the ball, and then it's just stand around and watch that player play.
Michael Jordan has sunk his head a couple times tonight, and he has shown a grimace that you normally don't see on his normally composed face like that.
Well, and that's what I'm amused at, all this teacher talk. I'm going to be very interested in finding out how quickly the teacher becomes a tiger, because I don't think Michael's going to sit around too long and be content with not winning basketball games.
Well, and I think that they want to try to find a way to keep the game close, and Michael will turn into Michael in the fourth quarter. It's going to be hard for him to be Michael throughout the course of the game like we're used to seeing him play, but they got to keep the game close, and that's going to be the difficult part with these young players. But you can see offensively they're confused, defensively they're confused, and I think a lot of that has to do with the youth and the bad habits that Doug Collins has his hands full to try to change.
Hamilton going inside and collides with Harrington. And Othello Harrington was the main culprit on that particular play, and he picks up the foul.
And Hamilton's another one of those guys, because of his lightness. You know, he doesn't have great body weight. Every time, Danny, he gets hit, goes through a screen, he pays a price for it because he's not really a big body player. Right. His offensive ability is such that if he gains strength, I think he would really be effective.
Harrington leaves. Shandon Anderson is in the game with Weatherspoon, Spencer, Houston, and Jackson. Jackson has played a lot of minutes in this third quarter. Now under 2 to play, a low-scoring game, as you might expect from the struggling Knicks and the woefully bad Wizards of the past. And the shooting holds it up for Washington, just 29%. Anderson to Houston. Been very quiet in this building tonight, too. As you entered, there was a buzz, but it has certainly died down as the night has gone on. Jones with the rebound, triggers it out to Hamilton, who lost it. Houston was defending. It is off the Wizards, and a nice play by Allen Houston.
Well, when the tallest guy on the court is Popeye Jones and Christian Laettner, you know, why New York continues to settle for outside shots. They don't even challenge the basket. And we've already talked about the lack of weak side help on Washington.
9 turnovers in the game for the Wizards. 5 have come in this quarter. Here comes Spencer. He's a 7-footer. Going up against his former Minnesota teammate, Christian Leighton. Can't hit anything inside.
That's why they shoot jump shots.
Well, I didn't say throw the ball to Phil Spencer. I'd like to see Houston drive to the basket.
Nesby to Whitney and rotating over to Hamilton, who draws the quick double. Shot clock at 8. Nesby for 3. Jones and they're fighting for it. Weatherspoon tried to keep it alive. Anderson last touched it. It'll be Washington's ball. Around to 48 seconds remaining. Well, with Michael in, you can see exactly what they've done, and without him, the staggeringly low numbers of 15 points.
Well, I thought early in the game they seemed to be a lot more relaxed than they are now, but as is the case when the game winds down, folks become more worn out and they become more under pressure to produce.
Washington has missed 10 of their last 11 shots from the field. Here comes Jackson.
But the way they stand around on offense, they have no chance to get offensive rebounds. I know they're not a great offensive rebounding team, but they get no movement off of the ball, and they're always on the outside coming to the boards in a position that's easy to block out.
Well, another thing, I'd wonder how many fast break baskets they've gotten in this game. They're not a transition team, so you've got to get movement and you've got to penetrate, or you've got to at least make cuts to the basket if you want layups.
Leitner with the fake on Spencer and tried to feed Jones underneath, and that goes astray. Another Washington turnover. 10 for the game, 6 for the quarter.
You've got to take that shot, you know what I mean, because you know what you're doing. You're passing to Popeye Jones, who was making a good cut, but Christian Leitner is a good offensive player. I should say was one.
Well, Mark Jackson was the key in the second quarter for the New York Knicks that brought them close at halftime, but it's been Allen Houston's 11 points in this third quarter, which has shoved the Knicks on top of the Wizards after 3, 67-61.
It's different down here. NBA Live 2002. EA Sports. It's in the game. Rated E for everyone.
Hey, as long as they're Hanes.
Man, that sandwich was good. Is there another one? We're saving it for Dave.
You can't resist Wendy's bacon mushroom melt with all that bacon and cheddar.
Hey, Dave, why don't you stay out a few more laps?
Okay.
Where's that sandwich?
Here, I hope no one ate my lunch.
When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
I'm gonna stand this thing on his head. Plan has changed.
You know, they'll hunt you down.
I hate to do anything as dramatic as count to 3, but 1, 2, 3.
Iced. Rated R. Starts November 9th.
Tell me, when will you be mine? Tell me cuando, cuando, cuando we can share a love divine. Please don't make me wait again. When will you say yes to me?
Does the world really need another mid-sized family sedan? It does if it's redesigned with V6 power, room for 5, and the freedom of America's best warranty plan. Introducing the new Sonata from Hyundai.
Welcome back to the NBA on Turner Sports tonight on TBS. And a look in the background of the Empire State Building in the foreground of American flags, which have become such a common occurrence in our country since that terrible Tuesday. And here is the budget fast break with some of the numbers through 3 quarters. 28 minutes and 15 points for Michael Jordan so far. All his points in the second half so far have come from the free throw line. He has not scored from the field as of yet in the second half.
The offensive execution is not good. The defense is ahead of the offense, even without these two teams utilizing and taking advantage of some of the new rules that allow you to cheat a little more than in the past on defense.
So we begin the fourth quarter with a fly inside by Nesby, a rebound and a shot up by Popeye Jones. Washington trying to stray away from a 25% shooting third quarter.
Well, and they have to definitely become a lot more effective defensively. Their team defense has got to be a lot better in terms of support. They don't have a shot blocker in the back. Well, that was an example where they forced play a little bit and got a basket off of this. And that's probably one of the few transitional fast break baskets that they come up with off of the steals.
You know, Peter's talking about lack of big men in the league, and now we're in the fourth quarter of the first game of the season, and the biggest man on the court is Christian Laettner. And that just tells you right there, there's not a lot of big guys around this league.
2-point game with Weatherspoon inside on Jones. Rebound by Nesby, and the Wizards can reclaim the lead on this possession. Possibly tie. Hamilton to Laettner, who's had a horrible night shooting 2 of 10. Nesby for 2 in the tie. Rebound by Laettner, and his tie with a 2-pointer inside.
That was just carelessness on the Knicks side, because again the Wizards didn't have any movement. They took a jump shot from the corner. Nobody boxed out. They were in great position to box out.
Oh, fella Harrington, 6'7". He's the biggest guy they have on the court right now. And Popeye Jones and Christian Laettner are not 2 of the biggest leapers in the league. And we see right here, Popeye gets the first one. Laettner right here. There's a run out. Ofella on the, but there's Popeye right there drawing all the attention for the only big guy, Weatherspoon, and Christian Laettner slips inside.
Laettner just picked up his 4th foul. Knicks make some changes. Anderson, Sprewell, Charlie Ward checks in. Harrington and Weatherspoon, the Knick 5. Michael Jordan is still on the bench with a minute and a half gone here in the fourth quarter. Washington has outscored the Knicks 13-3. Anderson got a screen from Weatherspoon. Kicks it outside. Ward for 3. Rebound inside. Claimed by Hamilton, who's out there with Whitney, Nesby, Laettner, and Popeye Jones.
Wizards definitely don't want a fast break. You've got one man who gets the rebound, he gets out, nobody fills the wings.
And that gives Washington the lead.
Well, that's ridiculous, because they get back, and one guy on the board for the Wizards taps the ball in against 4 Knicks.
And Popeye Jones, I mean, he can't even touch the rim, and he's getting those rebounds.
But he got it in. And here's Sprewell.
This is atrocious basketball. I feel bad for both coaches. You got new players, and they're just having a difficult time executing against real defense. I mean, this is, I'm not trying to make excuses for them. It's bad. But both these teams will get better as the season goes along. And they need Shannon Anderson to do something. He's had a horrible game offensively, and the Knicks need him to step up.
Sprewell, he's a slasher. Anderson is a slasher. Why don't they run the ball in New York? That's what they're made of.
Well, they came out in the second half and were running, and they got a lot out of it. But this is the man that has to initiate things when it becomes a problem. I think early in the year, you always see teams overcompensating, running their offense, moving more methodically, as opposed to seeing guys break off and try to do things on their own.
Jones has 12. The 2 main cogs for the New York Knicks, Sprewell and Houston, have each scored 20 points in this game. Popeye Jones has been a scoring force for the Wizards in this fourth quarter with his 6 points, and he just picks up a foul right there. Jones tagged with his 3rd.
And here comes MJ.
Yep. Now the game is for the taking, and with 8:57 to play in the fourth and Washington by 2, Michael Jordan re-enters the game.
Does the world really need another mid-sized family sedan? It does if it's redesigned with V6 power, room for 5, and the freedom of America's best warranty plan. Introducing the new Sonata from Hyundai.
TBS, TNT, and McDonald's are throwing an NBA house party, and you're invited. Log on to NBA.com or AOL keyword NBA.com to enter. Winners get a trip to Atlanta to hang out with the NBA on TNT studio team and enjoy a Thanksgiving feast. The NBA house party, presented by McDonald's.
Leather and wood trim. Fully adjustable driver and front passenger seats. Dual zone climate control. And 0 to 60 faster than you can say, was that a Lincoln? Now returning lessees can lease a 2002 Lincoln LS for just $399 a month for 24 months with $4,249 cash to its signing. See your Metro Detroit Lincoln dealer now.
Somewhere out there, your team is taking the ice, and you can be there coast to coast. Now Sports in Demand brings your team home. With NHL Center Ice on digital cable, you can choose from up to 35 out-of-market games a week. Call now to lock in a special low price. You can either fly to a different city every night or pocket the airfare and get NHL Center Ice. Don't miss your chance to order this ultimate hockey package. Call now.
I know for me, being a moderate basketball fan, it'll get me to a few more games this year.
When Michael Jordan going to come back, he's going to probably dominating even more than Mario did last year, because it's a basketball. You know, if you're the top guy, you got the ball all the time, and you know, I think he's going to reach probably 30 points a game.
He hasn't lost too much as far as I'm concerned. He's making some great shots, and, you know, there's just some people that have it, and he's got it. Whatever it is, man, the magic, it hasn't left.
But his shot has left him in this second half. He's 0 of 2 from the field. He's played 9 minutes in the third quarter. He's back in now in the fourth, and you can see what kind of air he has gotten under those Air Jordans tonight.
I love that graphic.
I do too.
Slight air is just the jump shots. Yeah. Big air is, you know, the drives to the hoop where he gets elevated, and the no air are the free throws. So, although some of his jump shots, he's not getting very much air. That's the slight air.
Slight air.
When you're talking about 0 for 2, I don't like the fact that he's only taking just 2 shots. You got to take more shots. I like Michael's misses sometimes better than I do other people's makes.
Sprewell tries to carve his way inside and was hacked at and fouled by Christian Laettner, who has been a no-show basically tonight. 5 fouls now on Laettner, who has gone 2 of 11 from the field. Doug Collins told us specifically this morning that he has got to help with Michael Jordan. Jordan can't do it by himself. He's got to get help from Courtney Alexander, but he pointed out 32-year-old Christian Laettner in particular.
Well, what about the confidence right now he's showing in Kwame Brown? Kwame Brown hasn't played the whole second half. 9 minutes to go in the game. Fourth quarter, game 1. He's going, although he doesn't have any choice because he doesn't have, with the foul trouble of Christian Laettner, plus Christian needs a blow.
So Brown is in, who had 3 rebounds and 3 blocks in limited minutes in the first half. Sprewell again at the line. Nesby with the rebound. Nesby with Brown, Whitney, Michael Jordan, and Popeye Jones. That's the 5 for Washington. Charlie Ward is guarding Whitney. That's knocked away by the quick hands of Shandon Anderson. Michael Jordan, his first field goal in the second half, and the last one he nailed, 4.5 to play in the second quarter. So he's just stopped the drought from the floor.
Well, here's the double screen. Michael should just switch right out there. They got Popeye Jones doing a legal switch now that used to be illegal, guard double teaming the guy without the ball, but if you're outside the paint, you get away with it.
Ward is uncovered, triggers, and hits it. Charlie Ward, who last year had his second consecutive season of 38% above the three-point arc.
And he's a terrific shooter, and that's the last guy. You know, Shandon Anderson has really been struggling with the three-point shot in this half. You don't want to leave Charlie open.
Whitney's had a hot hand and continues that way.
Well, and it's not smart on the Knicks' part because Whitney and actually Michael are the only 2 guys that I think you really have to guard from the perimeter, and they left Whitney wide open.
See, right here, Michael Jordan can pick up him. Sprewell's, he's going to the basket. That's legal. That did not used to be legal, but now it is. They're going to let Charlie Ward shoot threes. They could be in trouble.
There's a miss there. Whitney bobbles and finally reels in the rebound. Washington by 3. They've led by as many as 11. The Knicks in this game led by as many as 10. Michael Jordan with 17 points. Tries to penetrate inside, and he is hacked and fouled by the New York Knicks.
Well, right here, Whitney is not a guy, but here Charlie Ward, They should not leave him, or Michael Jordan right here. Nesby has to get out to Charlie Ward in the corner right there. That is really bad defense on the weak side, not being aware of where the shooters are.
Kurt Thomas takes the place of Harrington. So it's Weatherspoon, Anderson, Ward, Kurt Thomas, and Sprewell. Jones to Witt, into Brown, who tries to contort and puts it in. So Brown puts it in. And his first 2 points in the NBA by the #1 overall pick, 19-year-old Kwame Brown.
And the good thing about it is that he got it up in traffic. The games that I've seen him before and in practice, he releases the ball when he gets contact. He got hit that time and fought his way through.
Johnny has been criticized by his coach about his demeanor, maybe not paying attention or reluctant to take instruction. What have you found?
Well, and I think that he does react, but that's a sign of immaturity. You sort of expect that from an 18, 19-year-old guy, but the only thing about that is his paycheck doesn't say 18, 19.
No, it doesn't. Here comes Thomas, grinding inside, finding Anderson, hacked inside. I think Jordan got it. And he did. Michael picks up his 3rd foul.
The problem with being the #1 pick in the draft and being 19 years old is he's got everybody telling him. He's got 4 assistant coaches over there telling him what to do. He's got Michael Jordan telling him what to do. He's probably got Christian Laettner and Popeye Jones telling him what to do. That gets old after a while. You know, sometimes you got to just let the guy play. You can see his instincts. He's been a shot blocker. He's got offensive rebound. He flashed perfect on Chris Whitney's drive and finished strong. He does have some athletic ability. He has a lot to learn about the game, but you got to focus at the 1 or 2 guys talking to him.
Pretty daunting, 19 years old. #1 overall pick in the most recent NBA draft. And personally selected and worked out by Jordan. Brown tries to feed inside to Jones, picked up by Weatherspoon. Ahead it goes to Thomas, to the trailing Anderson, gobbled in by Jordan, into Jones, who's had a good 4th quarter. Oh, and Charlie Ward comes climbing down on Jones. There's the old football instincts of Charlie Ward. We told you in the first half, a Heisman Trophy-winning quarterback in college football, and playing some of that gridiron-type basketball now.
Well, yeah, he was a quarterback. He didn't have many opportunities, but when you throw an interception, you know, you try to go back and kill the guy that took it from you.
And he got him, didn't he? Ward has 4 points. He's 1 of 5 from the field, and he's got 1 tackle.
Oh, I don't know about that. Automatic ejection.
And Ward is not that kind of guy. It was just a hard foul, and much of the chagrin of Coach Jeff Van Gundy. He's going to lose his backup. The good news is for the Knicks, they've got a real good 3rd-string point guard in Howard Eisen.
So you see, Kevin, why Danny does not like that play. Had they called a game like that when he was playing, he wouldn't have last 3 games.
I wouldn't have done that if they threw you out of the game. That's for sure. I would have done it once.
So Isley has not played. He has an interesting thing going tonight as we bring him up. He has played in a ton of consecutive games for many teams. 443 consecutive games. That is the 3rd longest active streak right now in the NBA. He was the understudy to John Stockton with the Utah Jazz, and a good one. Left for big money to Dallas, and now sent in the Rice trade here to Washington. The first free throw is missed by Popeye Jones. His 2nd is in.
I wonder if he feels like he should have stayed in Utah, where he'd probably be the starting point guard next year. He fit in so good. He was playing so great in the playoffs. Last year, he actually got a DNP in the playoffs.
Right.
As Steve Nash is back up against Utah in that series. But he's a terrific player. He's just got to try to find his own niche, give him some time. But I'm surprised that he is not playing on this New York team.
Wizards have shot 80% from the field in this 4th quarter after shooting 25% from the field in the 3rd. Nice offensive rebound by Michael Jordan.
I think it is a tribute definitely to Brown that Collins has him out there right now. He'll acquire some great experience and confidence in doing that.
3-second violation. First 3-second violation we have seen tonight. And 13 Wizards turnovers tonight. That was Jordan's hand, by the way, that just knocked him in the back of his head.
Well, here's the double team right here. Kwame Brown wide open right there. He's got to take that shot. He's an excellent jump shooter.
Michael Jordan has scored 17. His Wizards lead by 4.
Does the world really need another mid-sized family sedan? It does if it's redesigned with V6 power, room for 5, and the freedom of America's best warranty plan. Introducing the new Sonata from Hyundai.
You're nobody till somebody loves you. You're nobody till somebody cares. You may be king, you may possess the world and its gold, but gold won't bring you happiness.
Halloween, a Superstation premiere.
It's party time! P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta!
Jim Carrey, The Mask. 9 Eastern tomorrow on TBS Superstation.
We know who the heroes are. They are the ones who in a time of need say, come with me. It will be all right. A fireman, a policeman, a soldier. They are our fathers, mothers, brothers, and sisters. We know who the heroes are.
EJ in Atlanta. Oh, what to wear to ring night in Los Angeles. Kobe Bryant going with the brown leather coat and the big white turtleneck. Game 2 of our doubleheader coming up. Shaq going with the more traditional mock turtle and the suit. The Lakers, the reigning champs, 2 times over to take on the Blazers. Robert Horry checking out Game 1 of our doubleheader, where we go back to the Garden right now, guys.
All right, thank you. New Blazers. Derek Anderson comes from San Antonio. Ruben Patterson from Seattle. A new coach gone. Mike Dunleavy, Peter Vesey, and in Maurice Cheeks. How do you assess the Blazers?
Well, you know, Maurice Cheeks came into camp saying nothing but positive things about his point guard, Damon Stoudemire. Said he was going to be the main guy now that Greg Anthony was gone. And that's what he's saying publicly. But privately, sources are telling me that the Blazers are definitely talking to Minnesota again about trading Stoudemire for Terrell Brandon. Brandon would definitely be more in the image of Maurice Cheeks, you know, the playmaker, more of a playmaker. And Brandon just does not really want to be there in Minnesota.
He asked, in fact, Peter, to come off the bench. He didn't even want to start or wanted less minutes to conserve his energy. But that is another story for another time. Anyway, Kurt Thomas has 10, and the high schooler, now NBA player Kwame Brown, is down and obviously writhing in pain. You can only imagine. I think Danny and John have touched on this tonight. What must be going through this 19-year-old's mind?
Well, usually when this happens, you land on someone's foot, and you can see right there is that twist of his ankle. Those are painful. I've had that happen a few times, Coach. I hate it. I cringe when I see those injuries, especially when you jump that high.
Well, particularly with his weight, size. I mean, he came down on that, and he's really seems to be in a lot of pain.
Well, he must not have had that done before. That didn't look like a really bad one, so I don't think he's going to be out for a long period of time. But the older you get and the more you do, they stretch out. They come back really fast.
Well, Thursday night, we will join you from Phillips Arena in Atlanta, where a new-looking Atlanta Hawks team, many people think this team is a bona fide playoff squad out of the Eastern Conference. Abdul Rahim, who comes from the former Vancouver Grizzlies. Jason Terry. Michael Jordan inside. Can't get it to go. And a rebound by Latrell Sprewell. Michael Jordan tonight, 17 points. And from the floor, 6 of 17.
Allen Houston's been on the bench an awful long time without any production at all from Shandon Anderson.
So the Wizards will travel to Atlanta after tonight. We'll have that game for you. Michael Jordan's second game in the NBA on TNT. Bench scoring tonight, the Wizards with 32 points, New York with 16. There is a 9-man rotation that Jeff Van Gundy has instituted this year for his New York Knicks. And 1 to 9 from the customary 8 because of the play of Othello Harrington, who's in the game now. And Mark Jackson is trying to signal, but they get it to Thomas instead, who makes his second consecutive basket inside.
Well, that's the effectiveness of Mark. I mean, he tries to back in, draws other people to him, and makes the pass in traffic.
We're tied at 79 with under 5 to play.
And Doug Collins just has a dilemma right there. He's got his best shooter on the court, Chris Whitney. But it's a tough matchup for Mark Jackson. He started Hamilton at the point guard so they wouldn't be able to post up. Right now he's got Michael Jordan guarding Allen Houston, but I think he likes that matchup, and that he's the most fearful of the offensive players of New York.
Sprewell gives the Knicks a lead. 82 to 81.
With the exception of maybe Sprewell.
Yes, exactly. Nesbitt. Jordan picked up by Sprewell. The drive and the kick. Nesbitt has it and buries it from outside. He now has 6, and the Wizards up by a point.
Well, that's an example of Michael's ability. The Wizards still weren't moving. He drove against a set defense and still was able to find Nesbitt over in the opposite corner. I'd like to see the Knicks get back into their fast break, though. They got a lot early doing that.
Did you see how fast Sprewell's first move was right there on Nesbitt?
Well, Nesbitt's kind of pushing him to the baseline side, hoping that he'll get help, but that's a great pull-up move. Sprewell, excellent medium-range jump shooter. Even knocked down a few threes tonight.
He's got 26.
Well, he's a heck of a lot better, Danny, when he's looking to score as opposed to trying to run the offense also.
Jordan with the miss. He is 6 of 18 from the field.
Well, right here you can see Sprewell looking for help even before he puts it on the ground. Right there, Nesbitt has Chris Whitney wide open out at the top with the hot hand, but makes a tough shot anyway.
Popeye Jones just was assessed his 4th personal foul. With a look at Michael Jordan. I mean, you can just rattle off the things that he has done in his career as you take a look at the Jordanaires, the assets around Michael Jordan, young players, except for the 32-year-old Leitner. One of the 50 greatest, of course, Jordan, 6-time champion of the Chicago Bulls, 2 gold medals, 12-time All-Star, 5-time MVP of the NBA.
Pretty good career.
Yeah, not bad.
I tell you what, I wouldn't want this game being this close coming down the line with him out there. If it's nothing but his ghost, it sure scares the heck out of me if I'm the opposing coach.
Yeah, just his presence has always got to make your eyes.
Well, it's no question. He's so familiar with close ball games and knowing what to do.
It's been interesting. Doug Collins started the 2 young guys at the shoots. Now he's got Chris Whitney and Tyrone Nesbitt out there on the court, the veterans.
They're back.
We're not too old for this.
Gibson, Glover, and some new blood.
I just don't want it coming out of me.
The Superstation premiere, Lethal Weapon 4, coming November 11th, only on TBS Superstation.
Beautiful.
Tell me, when will you be mine? Tell me quando we can share a love divine. Please don't make me wait again. When will you say yes to me?
Does the world really need another mid-sized family sedan? It does if it's redesigned with V6 power, room for 5, and the freedom of America's best warranty plan. Introducing the new Sonata from Hyundai.
The ring of power. It has been found. Sauron needs only this ring to enslave.
Well, as a testament to Michael Jordan's international appeal, tonight's game between the Wizards and the Knicks is being televised in 27 languages by 43 telecasters in 210 countries. And for the first time ever, an NBA game is being broadcast live in the United Kingdom on the BBC. And as you saw, Buck Williams is one of their announcers. Their coverage of the game tonight was preceded by a 90-minute news special about this game and its symbolic importance. And one of those people they interviewed today was our own John Thompson. Coach.
And John, I'm sure, gave them a wonderful insight into the game with a spot of tea, perhaps.
Had a little tea.
Yes,
had a little conversation.
Scones. Well, we're grateful for those folks and their interest in London and all over Great Britain, the BBC, great allies of our country. Thank you from all of us to all of you. There's a shot by Chris Whitney, would not go, and a foul is called on New York. Mark Jackson picks up his third personal foul. Fourth quarter shooting has been outstanding by both teams, shooting 67% in this fourth quarter. And game 3 with Roger Clemens on the mound and Anderson on the mound tonight. Clemens for the Yankees, Anderson for the Diamondbacks, tied at 1. Yankees are down 2 games tonight after Schilling and Randy Johnson had their way in Phoenix. A nice shot by Allen Houston, who now has sunk 22 tonight.
Well, when they double-team Michael Jordan, Washington has to do a better job of getting to open spots and making them pay. Right now, it's not a matter about just making shots. It's a matter of just standing and moving without the ball. There's 2 guys standing side by side, and those are the shots they've got to make them pay for.
Nesby for 3, Wizards to within 1. Washington tonight from 3-point territory has gone 5 of 9. The Knicks have been dreadful from above the arc shooting. 5 of 19.
You know what is good about what Michael is doing? Everybody came to see a sensational performance, but he's taking his time and picking his spots and involving other people in the ball game because I think he's looking at the big picture down the road.
Jackson can hit the 3. Now he orchestrates on top, guarded by Wick. Trying to find Sprewell, who's got 26.
Sprewell and Houston are the ones that have to find. I mean, that.
And he gets it. Latrell Sprewell's hot.
I still don't understand why they're going to let Latrell Sprewell play one-on-one. I guarantee you they won't let Michael play one-on-one.
Jordan has 19 points.
And you see Sprewell's mad. Othello Harrington was supposed to jump out on that screen, pats him on the rear and says, come on, I need your help. I can't do it.
Othello's not a fool. He said, don't put that bad luck on me.
Thomas inside, rebound by Christian Laettner. Wizards down by 1 with 1.5 minutes to play. Sprewell, by the way, has offered a 10-point fourth quarter.
That'll be interesting to watch Michael.
Draws the double. Laettner has screen. Jordan for the lead. Rebound by Kurt Thomas. Jordan tonight 7 of 20 from the floor. And a timeout taken by New York with 1:03 to play. And the Knicks nursing a 1.89-88 lead. The world champions are on deck against the Portland Trail Blazers. A big night of basketball on TBS.
At Michelin, we know there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. That's why we're introducing the Michelin Cross Terrain SUV tire. Because we designed it specifically for SUVs, you get a level of handling and responsiveness you never thought possible in an SUV. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
It's different down here. Madden NFL 2002 EA Sports. It's in the game.
Rated E for everyone.
Feels like lightning running through my veins. Every time I look at you. Every time I look at you. Every time I look at you. Every time I look at you.
It is a special night in America and a special night in New York City. The city has been through so much. And the emotion, the outpouring of passion before the game was truly awe-inspiring. It gave you shivers, and it was very well orchestrated, very well done. A great way to send the NBA into its 56th season. And what better venue, what brighter stage the New York City.
Tough possession for the Wizards. They played a good possession of defense and didn't give up the offensive rebound like that. That's a tough thing to do, particularly on somebody else's home court, and especially this late in the game. 40
seconds remain. The timeout story. Washington has 2, and the New York Knicks have 2, with 20 included in New York. Neither with fouls to give. And that is a foul called inside on Washington and on Nesby. He picks up his 4th.
That was a silly foul right there. He wasn't even making a move to the basket, just caught the ball, and Nesby slapped him on the arm.
To update Kwame Brown, he is now in the locker room, a sprained right ankle, and he will not return. He walked off limping with ice on the ankle. Harrington from the free throw line tonight, 2 of 5. We'll take a look at Weatherspoon and Anderson, 2 of the newest Knicks. And Harrington came mid last season.
Well, Kwame's going to find out he's got about 81 more games to get sprained ankles, buddy.
A lot of hope inside the Garden tonight for the New York Knicks. Without Marcus Camby, and he was the cornerstone of this team. He does so much so well, but out for 5 games with the bum leg and a bad foot.
Tomorrow on New Golfer's Paradise, where it's 20 below. What household item fuels this hot ride? And ooh, talk about a tongue twister. Ripley's Believe It or Not. Tomorrow at 8 Eastern and Pacific on TBS Superstation.
A tick, a tock, counting down to 4 o'clock. Mickey D's got the winner, tasting value for your dinner. Tick tock, keep looking at the clock. See the golden arches from just around the block. Fresh for you, and it tastes so right. Tick tock, 4 o'clock every night.
Detroit, dig into our tender 20-piece chicken McNuggets. Just $2.99 after 4 p.m. Or add 2 small fries and 2 small drinks for a delicious McNugget value pack. Only $5.99. Go for the taste every day after 4 p.m.
Love to see you smile.
Now get 0% APR financing on the all-new 2002 Dodge Ram.
Coming up next on this season opening night on TBS, the Portland Trail Blazers take on the defending NBA champion Los Angeles Lakers. And moments ago, the teacher to the pupils inside the Wizards huddle.
We get a stop, we get a score, we win the game. Okay, you guys got it? Yeah. Come on, now let's act. Everybody know where they're supposed to be.
So who do you think he's talking about to take that shot?
Well, I mean, we know Michael's going to have the ball in his hands and try to create offense. He's going to have Whitney, Leitner, or Nesby, but they're going to try to get a quick 2, I believe. And you see the new rules here. They're taking the ball out at the hash mark up here instead of back here where they used to have to take it out. But now, as a coach, you don't know if they're going to play a zone or man-to-man. So the players really have to make an adjustment to the defense.
Sprewell is on Jordan. Looking into Jones or Leitner, regardless, it's intercepted by Kirk Thomas and then retaken by the Wizards. Michael Jordan with Whitney, who's had the hot hand. Wizards down by 3. Jordan for the tie. Rebound by Kirk Thomas. Built into the floor and a foul. Jordan's had some open looks. He has had a 7 of 21 display shooting from the floor tonight. And that's Jordan's signature. Late game big shots.
Well, right there, Michael had the good look for the 3, had good rhythm stepping into it. But, you know, one thing as I've observed Michael throughout this game, I just don't think he's got the same, I mean, I know he doesn't have the same kind of conditioning. He's going to get better, I think, as the season goes along. But his conditioning is not what it used to be, that's for sure.
Well, and I think that holds true probably for all the players right now, because a lot of the way this game has been played, people have been thinking as opposed to reacting. It just has been a very methodical kind of game as opposed to getting loose and getting out and playing. And we've got to remember that these guys are just coming off of a lot of teaching because you're coming out of exhibition.
He's played 37 minutes tonight, Jordan has.
Well, and maybe, you know, coming out of training camp, you know, their legs are tired this time of year, but it looks like both teams are tired.
Timeout taken, 16 seconds to play. The Knicks 93-88 over Jordan's Washington team.
U.S. Atlas, $20.
I can't see their faces, only the shadows of their eyes.
Scorebooks, stickers, schedules, $90.
I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain. Going
A used tire, some new wipers, $68.
banking off of the northeast wind.
Stamps and postcards, $15.
Skipping over the ocean like snow.
One summer, two friends, 30 stadiums, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, preferred card and devoted fan of Major League Baseball.
Michael loves basketball, and he can't get that fix playing golf. He can't get that fix being the president of the Wizards. He is still one of the best players in the NBA. Maybe he's the 10th best player in the league. Maybe he's the 20th best player. Maybe by the end of the season, he might be the best player. But if I had a chance to be one of the best players in the league, there's nothing better than playing. Coaching's a distant second.
Matt Doherty, who played with Michael Jordan on those great North Carolina teams when Jordan won the national championship.
Coaching's a real distant second, I might add.
Yeah, you've done it. John, you've done it too. You've played and you've coached.
I would agree with him.
There's
not many things I do agree with Ames, but I agree with
Hey,
him.
there's nothing like playing. I mean, you know, that you just hope all the players that are out there playing just appreciate the time they get to play, because there's nothing better than playing.
Washington out of timeouts, as you just see, and of course no fouls to give. Whitney for three. And the rebound tapped, volleyballed around, picked up by Harrington off to Jackson, and that should do it as Jordan will tail Jackson to midcourt. Whitney makes the steal. A three on the fly. Good! It's a two-point game with 1 second to play, and the inbound to Jackson. Washington can't stop the clock. 0.6 on the clock now. And a nice shot nonetheless by Whitney, who finishes the game 7 of 16. And he's got 18 points for Washington.
I think Mark Jackson thought he was going to get fouled there intentionally, but they came and stripped it away. They got an outside shot at this game. They got one timeout left. Or Washington has no timeouts left.
Washington has no timeouts.
The 22nd timeout, which now you can advance the ball to the hash mark.
I think Collins is taking that timeout right now. He's right over there on the side calling an illegal but legal timeout.
That's right. Mark Jackson. Here's an interesting story about Mark Jackson. He has played Michael Jordan in 4 playoff series, going back to 1989 with New York and Indiana, and he's lost them all. So if anyone can give some perspective on what it's like to play Jordan and play him in big games, it's Mark Jackson, who fanned on the first.
Well, he wants to fan on this one. This is the one he's got to miss, because the game's over right here. They don't have enough time. Take some time off the clock with a miss.
And he does. Picked up by Jones. The heave, and it's over. And the New York Knicks have spoiled Michael Jordan's return to the NBA on his opening night, as the Knicks beat the Wizards 93-91. Jordan tonight finishes 7 of 21 from the floor. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. Washington will now travel to Atlanta. We'll have that game for you on TNT come Thursday. Blazers and the Lakers are up next. And let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, we talked so much tonight about Michael Jordan, Latrell Sprewell, the man who had to guard him tonight. Obviously, you're happy with the win, but can you talk about what Michael looked like from a first-hand perspective regarding him?
I mean, he looked great. I think we did an excellent job. Our game plan was great. We pretty much wanted to keep the ball out of his hands, and when he did catch it, we put 2 guys on him, and we tried to force the other guys to make plays for him.
I guess you're not in playoff shape the first game of the year, but did you think Michael was tiring and he didn't have his legs like you did, say, 3 years ago?
I didn't sense him being tired. I thought he really made smart plays. And when you put two guys on a guy, you have to do the right thing and move the ball, and that's what he did. The other guys for him have to step up and make plays.
What about the Knicks? How would you assess your team's performance?
Average, you know. Hopefully we'll get better, though, especially on the defensive end. We're a lot better. We got to make our free throws and cut down on the turnovers as well.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's go back to Kevin.
So Sprewell had 28, but 10 came in the fourth quarter, and that was the deciding factor with the Knicks' 2-point win over the Washington Wizards tonight. And now for John Thompson, Danny Ainge, Craig Sager, and Peter Vesey. Our producer, Mike Birch, and our director, Lonnie Dale, on a big night for the NBA and Michael Jordan. This is Kevin Harlan. We take you to Ernie Johnson and our studios after this commercial word. Then, the Blazers take on the world champion Los Angeles Lakers. All coming up on TBS. Good night from Madison Square Garden.
We started modernizing sled operations in '78. We have to assure that billions of children receive billions of toys overnight. And UPS has the technology to help make this possible. Some elves have worked here long enough to remember the good old days when we'd make a little wooden train, write for Timmy on it, and leave it to Santa to figure it out. Today, UPS helps us track any toy from the time it leaves our facility to the time Santa leaves it under the tree. You know, I tell you, the guys in the brown trucks make my job a whole lot easier.
The NBA on TBS is brought to you by 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. Just dial down the center, 1-800-CALL-ATT. By the Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express, always double miles. By Heineken, it's all about the beer. Heineken. And by Hyundai, where the freedom of America's best warranty is standard equipment.
TBS NBA Tuesday, opening night double dip here on TBS, and still to come, it's ring night in Los Angeles. The two-time defending champion Lakers hosting the Portland Trail Blazers. That game comes your way with Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown just a few minutes from now. Right now, we're back here in Studio A. In between games, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson. Michael Jordan makes his debut for the year and scores 19 points, 7 out of 21. I must point out that, Charles, it appears you swept every deal here with Kenny.
That's because I know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm a basketball expert. I've been there and did that. But I get no joy because I want Michael to do well.
Yeah, I can tell you're getting no joy.
I want Michael to do well. I mean, obviously, I don't care about this reporter crap, but as a friend, I want him to do well. But
well, he had 19 on 7 out of 21. How did he do tonight?
I thought he did pretty good, and that's where it's going to be all season. He's going to have some really great games and some mediocre games because if you notice, he's a jump shooter now. And if he's the best jump shooter in the world, he's going to shoot close to 50%. So some nights he's going to have 30, 35 when his jumper's going, but most nights he's going to have right around 20-ish because that's what he is. He's a jump shooter.
If you were looking for that Hollywood kind of finish, they're down by 3 points.
Close.
The ball's in Michael's hands.
Yeah, he did a great job, but, you know, I think overall when the other players on the team knock down shots, that will start to loosen up opportunities for him. So then, in turn, those 21 shots will be an easier, a more uncontested 21 shots. And then referring to Charles sweeping me today, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Well, I mean, you said he'd get at least 25. He had 19. Yeah. You said the Wizards would win. They lost. And also that
so is that broken clock.
Sprewell would get more than Jordan. And Charles, you were right on that count also. If you're just joining us, here are the highlights of this game. And
I'm just glad to see Michael back. And he's going to get better and better. Not going to go crazy after one game. But as I suspect, his team is not very good. He's got to carry a lot of weight. And unfortunately, he's 38. He can't carry a lot of weight. From a pure basketball fan, it's great that he's back.
Here's that three-pointer of which we spoke moments ago.
Yeah, you know, that's a shot that, you know, it's a good shot. You know, that's a shot you want. You want the ball in your hand, your best player, wide open, didn't go down.
93-91 the final. By the way, we are efforting post-game comments from Michael Jordan. As soon as he goes to the podium, we'll bring it to you. And,
you know, I think that's one thing. There's some things we as media idiots, we can't ask Michael to do interviews after every game. He doesn't have to have a press conference in every city. We got to get off his back.
Well, that's not going to happen anytime
Not
soon.
today. We need to see Michael Jordan.
Yeah, of course. We want to hear what Michael has to say about
I'm going to talk to him tomorrow night when he's here in Atlanta. I'm going to tell him, hey, just blow the press off. He don't have to get cleaned up and have a press conference after every game. I mean, because he wants his team to do good. He's accomplished everything. I mean, how can you beat being the greatest player who ever lived? And why we as media idiots have to quit harping on him after every game to explain everything. He's there to help those young guys get better, and that's it.
You're a little cranky tonight.
No, I'm not.
You're
I'm
a little cranky.
mad, man, because I want to see Michael do well. As a friend, I told you, this is double-edged for me. As a basketball fan, I'm glad he's back. As a friend, I don't want to see him struggle or his team struggle.
93-91, New York, the final.
Cranky, what does that mean?
It's a little cranky. It's a little whiny. You know.
I don't use the word cranky where I'm from.
Whiny. In Leeds, Alabama. Game 2 coming up next. Shaquille O'Neal and the champion
Shaq
Lakers.
Diesel.
Taking on the Blazers.
A man against boys.
Good, you're not as cranky now.
Real team.